playing D&D.
That's enough.
That's enough.
Nope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we're
far
good.
too
We're done with
much.
that.
That wasn't
What?
even good. That's enough.
Oh, it wasn't supposed to be
Yeah,
good.
we're
It was
good.
supposed to be the ridiculous cartoon like Professor.
That,
Nah,
that
we're
wasn't even like
Nah.
that wasn't even like Team 4-Star Krillin being Nazi and help.
That was so bad. It was good. It's really funny how much better it got by the end of it. Anyway, we're playing some D&D tonight. Gonna be
D&D.
playing again with our continuing. Oh, look at that! Stream Elements. Molly Can has his. 4 months in a row. Oh God, has it been that long? That's not great for me.
That's right. I'm getting to that 6th. I'm gonna make you eat those Oreos off the floor.
Oh my
That's
God,
not a thing.
Molly
gonna
doesn't
be
know how
gambling.
It
jokes
will
work.
be a thing.
Oh Lord. I have to do
Oh,
double
it's
stuff
gonna be
too.
a thing.
I think you have to subscribe in a 6-month block. I don't think you can just.
Yeah. Yeah.
Casually
Well, she's
get.
4 months in a row, so that's,
Okay.
that's...
Well, I'll do that then.
Anyway, let's not think about that horrifying consequences. Also, oh God, that's gonna be real bad for me. All right, so we're doing the continuing storyline of the Dawnforged company, where we follow our intrepid adventurers. They have been in the dwarven city of Khirn, and last session they spent some time trying to plan their next move, and also filling in one of their newer, I should say not newest, one of their newer companions in on the full scope of their quest and story.
Gonna have to do that again.
So it's basically like we did a flashback episode last week, best of sort of thing, but also planning things. So it kind of worked out. So other than, let's see, for that, so that was kind of all that happened last week, which was weird, because I think for once the in-game time was shorter than the out-game time. Like, if that makes any sense anyway. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so, but this time, we come down into the world, looking at our adventurers, who are all they all have plans in mind, or to get ready to strike out to do their each individual tasks to try to make it all come together at the end of it. So right now, you guys, you've just started the day. You talked, you ate. It's getting to be about 11 o'clock. What would you like to do?
AM or PM?
AM or PM?
AM.
Well, all my plans somebody else could do. So bye. I'm gonna go nap.
I need to talk to Gimzik to get an exact list of the things that he needs.
Okay.
Oh, I wanna ask Gimzik if he has any other spell store ring.
Okay. All right. So you guys, both of you head over to Gimzek almost simultaneously, almost in stride, oddly enough. And then as you make your way to the gnome, he's sitting on the steps and he's thinking. You can see he's like spacing out, trying to think of something, tapping his lip. Oh, hello. What can I? Are we
that
ready?
pot I gave you.
Oh yes, the copper pot.
What?
The one that is there was a copper pot that appeared from. Oh God, I forgot his name.
Frenzel.
Krenzel Bronze Master had sent a copper pot with an electrum lining.
Carrot cake.
And then so that was going to be part of the plan to channel the spell Hypnotic Pattern into the Zealer Akim, the stars above. Oh, excellent. That'll be quite nice and effective, and I've been thinking a lot about that plan, and there's going to be a lot of things that I think we can do and things that we will do that might work out well for us. Sorry, I'm taking... What did you want?
So I had a quick question. Oh, I'll let you go first.
Okay.
For this plan, any kind of other contraptions that we're making here? What do you need? I'm gonna swing by work.
Well, I was thinking about this, and the time to enchant the glasses would take far too long. That I think it would set us too far behind our plans. But I do have about 4 pairs of magical glasses that I could break into monocles for us to use for this. But I would need the glasses from my shop. I'll need the prismatic stardust. It's one of my supplies that is at my workshop, and then also my welding mask, and then I just from there need time to do all of this.
I'm writing all of this stuff down.
Perfect. And as he's like looking at the pot, and he's like putting his head in it, like looking at it and inspecting it like super closely. Sorry, what?
Just so I was wondering if there's two things, right? I was wondering if you had a ring of spell storing on you, and if you had anyone that could cast dispel, just the strongest possible dispel we could get in there.
Spell? Yes, I can cast this. Wait, hold on. Let me take a look. And you see, he pulls out a book and he starts flipping through it. And he's like clearly thinking about something like, I know it's in here somewhere. Hold on. And he's like furiously, and then you see he's like, well, that is actually. I don't have dispel magic. I've always used a scroll for it or a wand. It looks like
Oh, that'd be
those will
great.
work?
Do we have a wand of dispel?
I don't.
perfect.
I can make wands, but not of dispel magic. We would need a wizard for that. I can do firebolt, green flame.
Do you have any
oh,
wizards
yes.
in your employ, either as spies or anything like that? Is there anyone that we can go to?
Well, no, unfortunately. Most not a lot of wizards are interested in living in our poor city.
There's
Uh,
not.
Well, not that I know of. Most of them have been either exiled or for being too knowledgeable and therefore affecting the general populace, or I get it from an outside source. I have them sent over from. Well, usually they'll enchant the scroll and they'll send it to me so I can enchant it onto an object or item. But unfortunately, none in the city that I know of.
All right. Do you think the spellmaster or the spy master might know someone?
I mean, he knows definitely. He has more contacts than I do, of course.
All right. So if I can get something from him, maybe you can make it. Because what I'm thinking,
course,
right,
yeah.
is we need to show that the king isn't at the fighting rings, right?
Yes.
I don't know the spell. I don't have it in my book. But we could, if we could get it in a ring or get it in a wand, we could have Uza sneak up behind the false king and reveal him at like an opportune moment.
What about your halfling friend who popped into existence?
He knows a
don't
lot
know.
of stuff. That weird
I-
wand. Fenric!
So I thought you knew him. I thought you guys were friends. So I didn't know that you.
I've never
No
met
idea.
him before in my life. I do apologize.
Cool with me. Fenric!
Well, yes. What? Yeah.
You know dispel magic?
Do I know dispel magic? Of course, I know dispel magic. It is a simple
There you go.
spell. There you
Great.
go.
Do you think you can? This guy, if he made a spell or something, do you think you could do that?
Well, yes. Well, yes. I believe I could do that. That shouldn't be too hard. The only thing is, how will? Do you have any magical capabilities, Uza?
I can do this, and whatever he's working on, I cast light onto it.
And as you cast light onto it, he's kind of like absentmindedly talking to you while he's inspecting the copper pot. And right as he looks away, you cast it, and it brightens like in the middle of the pot. And he's like, ah! And he points it away from his face. He's trying to like point it away, and as the bright light comes spearing out of it. Well, I mean that is of some use to us. I believe we could together make it into a wand of dispel magic. It would be of limited uses, but we could do that.
Wait, hold on.
That'd be
like-
great.
Divine magic?
No, this would be of an arcane nature.
I don't know if I can use. I don't know if I can use the arcade stuff.
Well, that's okay. Well, let me see. what else.
What's the range on that? Because if need be, I could maybe use it. I could just, reveal him myself if need be. But
Doesn't he have a magic?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Doesn't the fake king have a magical barrier?
see, that's what I want to dispel. I want to get rid of that somehow. Like that's why I'm asking for like the highest level person, the highest possible, strongest mage there is to sort of spell, block that dispel in there so that there's a better
dispel-
chance that it'll actually work.
Then Fendrick pipes up. Actually, the dispel magic has a 120-foot range, so you don't actually have to be that close. It's instantaneous, and I can cast that up to a 6th level.
Alright, but do you think that's enough? Do you think that's strong enough?
Well, having no interaction with it before, or really any idea what I'm doing here, what you're talking about, or anything else, I would say I have no idea.
Cool. I mean, you know the king, though. You know the guards in the city, pretty much, right? Like, there's no one the king would have brought in that you guys wouldn't know. Is that right?
So that was Fendrick talking. I know they're very similar voices. Fendrick
Oh, gotcha.
just got here.
You're right. Not Fendrick, but the other guy.
Okay, that is true. The only thing unfortunately, I wasn't familiar him having any magical abilities at all.
Right. That means that the fake king could definitely have magical abilities, right?
I would suppose so, or that they have found somebody who can enchant their items or make a magical item coming from who knows where.
I'll tell you what. Dispel is always something good to have on hand, so if you
Yes.
guys can make a wand or spell store of any kind, that would be great. I'll go talk to the spy master and see if he thinks it'll work or not.
Very well. I appreciate your help, Mr. And he puts out his hand to Fendrick. It's Fendrick the Fortunate. Quite lucky most of the time. Are you?
Vicer Guile of the Dawnforged Company of
yes.
Heroes.
Well, company of heroes. That's a good company to keep, I suppose.
Well, we'll see, huh?
All right. Well, I really better get to work. So, with me, Fendrick. Kind of.
Real quick, what does prismatic stardust look like?
Oh, prismatic stardust. You'll recognize it by the container. I actually keep it inside of a crystalline globe. It looks decorative at first, but if you spin it, you'll see the prismatic dust inside of it sparkle around. It should be on my desk.
Okay, cool. Got it. No problem. I'll have it to you. Anything else you want? I'm gonna go shopping apparently.
Well, gold is always of use for when creating these sort of things. Let's see, other than that, if you come across any... it's hard to get sticks down here to make wands out of, so that would be of decent help.
You do it with this, I take out one arrow and I snap off both ends.
Unfortunately, no, but I can, and he touches his finger to it and mends the ends back together.
That was a whole lot of roundabout there. Thank you.
Of course. No, but I think for now, the glasses, if you do see anything else of interest or something I may have forgotten at the shop, but most of it had been cleared out a bit before then by that, my ex-helper. We'll just call him that.
Okay, got it.
Yes, exactly.
Vicer.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, what was the range? You said you saw the fake king dispel magic. Do you know how close he got? Like, we're anticipating me being invisible. I just want to know at what point I'm still going to be invisible, and at what point I'm
So-
not going to be.
Right, Ty. Based off of what happened last time, what did I see? How far away did I see my spells disappear?
About 5 feet away.
I'd say
Yeah,
about
look-
5 feet. Best
Perfect.
guess.
Feet, that's fine. Feet. Easy money, man. Easy.
That's the hope.
Perfect. And at that point, you see the snake, Kasai, kind of look around, then kind of like jerk back, and then it looks like it's being drawn backwards by its tail up into like this hole about 3 feet high, and it gets sucked in. You see this flame out.
Oh god, we
burst
killed
out,
it!
and Tazir is back.
Oh god.
Hey guys.
Killed it.
Welcome back.
I don't even know more. Was that snake yours?
Was it a snake?
That was a snake.
Go with yes.
Okay.
Alright. Nice snake.
Want to help me steal some shit? I mean, borrow. Borrow. We're borrow. Turning in some.
Sure, I'm pretty good at that.
I need help.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a sneaky person in general. I'm quite liable to fall. Did I give you the... Who did I give the spell ring to?
You guys have to kind of keep track of the magical items. Let's see, the ring of spell storing. I believe.
No, I gave it to one of the NPCs. Is why I asked. I thought I did anyway.
Maybe you were planning to. I don't think you did.
Didn't you give it to the goblin?
Yeah, I was gonna store greater invisibility in it and have. something like that.
Oh, okay. So sorry, refresh me on that. You wanted to store greater invisibility in it and then have him use it?
Yeah, and then have I thought Uza use it.
Oh yeah, that would work.
Okay.
Spell storing, right?
Yeah. And what level greater is greater invisibility?
I casted it at a 5th level because I knew I was going right to sleep. So.
Okay, perfect. So then in that case, you give it, you hand it to Uza, and then
And what was the default spell that was in there? Do you know?
you used it already. It was fairy fire.
Yeah, I used it once, but there were 3 charges in there.
In order to make room for the 5th level one, those would have gotten pushed out.
Okay, great, cool. Make life
Perfect.
easy.
Yeah, because it only hold five spell levels at a time.
Okay, cool.
Perfect. All right, so
And that's that requires it, right?
yes, yeah, it takes needs attunement and requires like half an hour.
I can only cast this. How long does greater invisibility last, Vicer?
Greater invisibility, even that. Oh, here, I'll just hit it.
There you go. So concentrate.
So it's up to a minute. Sorry.
It's okay, but you can do things while invisible. That's what makes it greater.
Okay. All right. I will remember that. 1 minute.
Did you want to cast it at a 4th level since there's no benefit of using it at a higher level?
There's none at all? I'm
No,
going right to sleep. It doesn't. I guess, yeah, just in case
Okay,
something
well,
attacks in the night.
I was gonna say if you did that, then you can just do regular invisibility in there as well if you have it.
I don't.
Okay.
But I will toss detect magic in there.
Perfect. Okay.
I have magic.
You have? Do you have feather fall? No, you
Oh, hold on.
fly.
As feathers fall.
Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I have detect magic prepared today. I don't think I do. I can do spells now.
Neat.
Yay! Yay! Spells.
I do not have detect magic.
All right, then I'll just slap that in there too.
Perfect. Okay. And we'll say you did that last night before bed because you probably don't want it because you clearly thought about it. Maybe I just forgot. So, all right. So you have those inside of the ring of spell storing. What are you unattuning to attune that?
Let's go with the bracers.
Bracers. Okay.
Oh shit.
All right. So bracers unattuned. Spells ring attuned, and you guys get ready to head out, knowing where you're going and what you're going to do. All right. So anybody else want to do anything before they head out?
I have been at Helmata's, basically giving her boatloads of money for all of her herbs and being a fiendish.
Oh no, you have to go do that. We have to,
Yeah, we're wanted people.
Well, like I said, I've headed out. Like,
oh, headed
so
out.
we're
Okay, perfect.
Pick that up.
Perfect. All right, so you're headed to Halmata's, and then so we got two headed. So we've got Tazir and Uza headed to the Tinkerer's shop. We've got Zephyr headed to Helmata's for the herbalist, and then Vicer, where are you going anywhere or doing? Or are you staying here and preparing something else?
I don't. Does anyone have a need for me to go with them, or have any? I just
You
don't
can
see
go
how
with
I'd be
me.
useful leaving, right? Because I'm.
If you're not
loud.
planning anything, you can go with me because, going by ourselves anywhere when we're wanted folk is probably not wise.
And
Sure,
those two
yeah.
shops are relatively close together, so you could all make it to one together, and then split up once you get to that kind of
Oh,
general
can I?
place.
Can I?
I have passed without a trace
That'll
Nice.
definitely help.
for the whole
um,
group.
But I also have that brooch or whatever that lets people change shape, right? Or you disguise yourself.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Can I give that to Zephyr? And then I'll cast alter self on myself, and then we can have disguises to sneak around.
Sure. You can good to go for
Okay.
you?
Cool. We'll do that.
Perfect.
And then I'm gonna alter myself
Perfect. What do you want
like
to
a
look like?
dwarf. I'll look like just a much more mundane sort of dwarf.
Okay.
I'm gonna look as average and as blending in as possible.
You become a dwarf. And dwarf.
Kind of looks at Taz, and I look at myself. So fuck Taz. Come on, let's go do this and have fun with it.
I might stand out a little. Pass without a trace. Wait, can I cast that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lasts for up to an hour, so if we're all heading in the same direction to start, we can start with that and then split up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna ask the spy master for directions to the tunnels that lead right up to the tinker's shop. That way we have minimal amount of time on the street.
All right. Actually, you know what? There is some places between here and there. I think you actually got a little caught up in one before, so yeah, we could definitely get you set up with one. Just beware of the traps. It's a little hairy down there, so just go careful, because there's no way we're gonna disarm those. So, yeah.
I know. I got him. I could.
Hairy
spot
traps,
most-
you say?
Oh yeah, lots of traps. They're awful. Well, for other people anyway. I'll kind of hold on. And he kind of like he like pulls out like a piece of paper from like this little satchel on his side. And he kind of like pulls it out and he lays it on the table. And you see there's like a map of Khirn from above, and you see there's a bunch of like traces and lines. And then so he's like, okay, and he kind of like puts his hand down and flattens down one section, and then he pulls out another piece of paper and puts it over it, and then flattens it over the top. And you see that this one is in red, so you can see all of these lines that go and connect to different places. And he's like, all right, so we're here. And he kind of points to this big, like, circled and a giant X. And so the tunnel over there, and he points kind of like northeastish. He's like, and that'll take you into here. And he kind of like traces it along. And you see, he's like, and then right here, here. And you see there's little marks where all the traps are. And you remember most of them, but there's a good, like 500 feet of tunnel that you never saw that has another trap inside of it. And so he's like, all right, so that yeah, that would take you right over there.
I'm going to do my best to memorize that.
All right, go ahead and make an intelligence check for me, just out of curiosity.
Do I get advantage because I know maps? It's cool.
Yeah, but maps, I don't know. Yeah, we'll say yes.
Because I have.
Because that's your hobby, and you.
And I
worked on
needed
it.
it.
Oh shit! Yeah,
I need-
yeah, it embeds itself pretty decently. You know, you're fairly confident that you got every single one.
Thank you, DM.
Hey, it made sense. You know, that is your character's pretty much hobby, so and his reason for existence at the beginning. So, it works. All right, and be careful around that area. I know there's quite a few. We had to get the little guy out of there. Because that place is pretty heavily guarded. We got him out of there just a little bit before the real guard came in, and they are pretty heavy around that area right now. So make sure you keep your eyes up, okay?
I remember that. I was there. Okay, yeah. See you.
All right, see ya.
And head out with Taz.
Perfect. And so everybody's gone.
Are we going with her?
If you're headed to that quarter, I would recommend kind of going with them since Taz has that
Right,
pass without a trace.
Yeah, because it's right next to Helmata's, isn't it?
Yep.
For the most part.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
very close to each other.
I'm
So
gonna follow with them.
perfect. So everybody go and make a stealth check and then add 10.
This is on the stealing mission, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh man. Okay.
That's not how.
20.
So
Oh, that's the one we're going on. Sorry, I didn't realize that.
that's okay.
Hey.
All right.
So I'm like invisible, right? Because that's
yeah,
24 plus
34.
10.
Yeah, like you see Tazir's flames nearly go out, and just the traces of the Ganassi skin of where her energy flows through it, just the barest hint of like this fiery flicker underneath her skin. You see it kind of run through these like intricate patterns, but that's all you can see of her. She almost consumes light at this point. When you head into the tunnels, she almost disappears completely. Meanwhile, Uza's like, he's like muttering to himself under his breath of where all the traps are. He's like, okay, trying to remember exactly, so he doesn't forget them, which he doesn't. And luckily, you guys make your way through the tunnel pretty handily, pretty sneakily. At one point, instead of disarming a trap, Uza being in a hurry just sets one off and it goes like a big spike thing hits and then retracts back into the wall.
Hold on a second. If that's for my critical failure on the stealth, I used luck.
Oh, you used luck. Is that what the 16
Yeah.
came from?
Yes.
Oh, all right, never mind. Then you guys all quickly and quietly make your way through the tunnels. Uza marking down each one and then and kind of guiding you around them so none of them end up tripping or hitting any of you. It takes you a good while. It takes you about half an hour, 45 minutes to actually make it all the way to that section of the city. And you guys are going at a pretty decent pace. By the end of it, a lot of you are just like a little bit winded and have to take a second before you crawl up through the streets. You look at the door, you know where the door is, just from previous experience, and as you look up, you see there is a small jewel, like a kind of it looks like it's just arbitrarily put into the wall here, but you know that that you're supposed to turn it, and that opens the trapdoor for getting onto the street level. So you guys hop up onto street level, and where would you like to go from here?
I'm sort of along for the ride, so I'm following people.
Perfect. Okay,
Yeah,
so
whenever we come up to Helmata's, I kind of tug on Vicer and jerk my head that way.
perfect. So you guys come to Gimzek. You come to the Tinkerers Guild first, and it is boarded up. There's a sign saying, the sign basically says, "Do not worry. The Tinkerers Guild, while temporarily shut down for trying to disgrace the crown, will be soon again opened with an approved curator."
That's fucked.
I can try.
Sorry, you're breaking up. What's that?
Yeah.
Oh, that kind of makes things a lot easier. Let's go around back and break into this place.
Okay, so you and Tazir go into the back of the Tinkerer's shop while Vicer and Zephyr go ahead and give me 2 new stealth rolls, since you'll be heading outside of the influence, outside of the 30 feet of the Pass Without a Trace.
Right, and we're still disguised as dwarves, right?
Yes, yeah, you guys. Well, okay. I assuming you want to stealth. Do you want to stealth, or you just want to play the confidence card?
Could do both.
Okay.
I mean, it
Yeah,
doesn't hurt to
both.
try and...
Trying to be quiet and
Perfect. So both of you think you kind of like pull the, dive between, walk nonchalantly, dive back and forth, and seem to make your ways to Helmata's. And as you're walking, though, you see there are a lot more guards here than you're used to. You pass like, at least 3 patrols in just the block that it takes to get to Helmata's. But none of them seem to notice or take any interest in you as you make your way there. All right, so back to Tazir and Uza. What would you guys? How are you guys getting into the house? Well, the guild.
I'm assuming there's a back door.
There is.
Right. Head over that way, and I'm gonna try and listen to see if I can actually hear anybody inside.
Perfect. Make a perception check. 22. As you put your ear to the door, you listen. And you listen really, really hard. You hear a slight bubbling. And then you try to listen again, but there doesn't seem to be anything else beyond that.
It bubbling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you hear anything inside? All I hear is bubbling.
Go and make a perception check, Tazzy. Oh, you're breaking up.
Yes.
What was that? Oh, perfect.
Oh, I got it. New headphones.
Nice. They sound great, actually, for the record.
Yeah, they do.
That's good.
All right, so you, the same thing. Yeah, you put your ear to the door, and as you do, you instinctively retreat your flame hair so you don't light the door on fire. And then you also hear just a slight bubbling, but nothing else.
There's a witch in there?
a witch in there. I'm gonna slowly pull out my dagger.
Perfect.
I haven't seen it here. Okay, alright. Well, should we still go in?
Yeah. Pass without a trace lasts for an hour, so
Yeah, you're still good.
should
I'm
be
gonna
good.
go ahead and check the door for traps.
Perfect. Make an inspection. Or investigation works too, because that's an actual stat. And
Forget about-
as you're looking at it, you do notice that there are 3 different locks, and all of them seem to have some sort of trap to setting them off. You're not sure exactly what will. You're getting. It's hard to figure out exactly what will set them off because they are embedded into the door itself. They don't seem to have like any exterior mechanisms, so you're having a hard time figuring exactly what will set them off. But you do kind of notice hints of things here and there. You see like this like kind of blackening from somebody who tried to pick this lock before on the middle one. So you're like, that's definitely, I know electric damage when I see it, and that's fucking electric damage. The other 2, though, they don't show the signs, but you're just wary of them because of that.
Is there any thieves' cant nearby?
No, there's no thieves' cant
I
near
figured
this,
it was
this shop.
trap.
Not in,
All
not
right,
in the back of the shop.
I'm gonna try the first lock.
Perfect. All right, are you just going for a straight lockpick?
Well, I'm gonna try to do the disarm whatever trap is. Can I? You were saying I can't quite tell the mechanism.
Yeah.
But I know that it's trapped.
Yeah, like you see burn marks on the middle one. That's clearly from some sort of electrical trap, but they don't seem the trap, whatever the trap is, and the thing that dispels it seems to be in the lock itself.
So could I disarm that with thieves' tools, or do I have to just try to pick it? I'm gonna try to disarm it.
Okay. Go ahead and use your
Ammo. That's
thieves'
not gonna
tools.
do it.
And so as you're looking at it, you're just trying to figure out a little bit as you reach your tools in there, and you're trying to hook it. And then as you reach the back of the tumbler, because you reach it and then you rake forward for a lot of lockpicking. And as you reach the back of it, you hear this. And then as you pull your hands out, go and make a dex saving throw. And you
Hey!
nimbly duck under this gout of flame that just shoots right out of the lower lock as you touch the back of it.
Okay. I'm gonna do a perception check to see if anybody is reacting to that.
Perfect. And looking around, the alley around you seems quiet. Luckily, it wasn't too loud, but it was just a lot of fire.
Okay. Try and pick that lock now that the trap seems to be done.
Perfect.
Hopefully. Fuck it.
And being very careful not to touch the back of the lock. You get 3 tumblers, and then you go to turn it, and you're like, wait a minute, oh, there's a 4th one. And then you quickly you turn it over and unlock the bottom lock.
Okay. I'm gonna go for the top one now. The other one without any damage.
Perfect. And you just
Again,
gonna
I'm
go for the straight pick?
I'm
What do you...
gonna try. No. Yeah. Fuck it. Straight pick.
Okay. All right, and this time, as you get the pick in there, and you're doing very carefully, but you accidentally tap the back of the wall, and this ice freezes your hands to your tools, and the ice starts to climb up your arms. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no, I'm bad at those. Okay. I hope.
Perfect. So you take 6 points of frost damage as they climb up your hands. You manage to quickly yank down and break your hands and the tools off out of the lock without managing to save your tools, but taking the frost damage in the.
I can't do evasion for that, right? Was that not a
Not an AOE, not an attack, so not really.
cool? Fair enough. Did I manage to unlock it?
You almost unlocked it, but unfortunately you got froze. You know that there's 2 tumblers left to lockpick.
I can unlock it. I have thieves' tools too.
And you see as he shakes off the cold, he goes in again. Make another Constitution saving throw.
Ah, shit. As this.
Well, isn't this deja vu?
Thank-
All right, so another 6 points of frost damage as your hands are now getting really, really cold, really hard to move.
I'm gonna kind of blow on him as I walk away. Wanna try this shit? My hands hurt.
I forget. Tazir,
I can produce a flame and warm you up. I am actually, fire thingy.
I'm gonna hang out right behind you and just kind of go up, just warm my hands up by your hair if you don't mind.
I'll put this flame cantrip just for you. It's in my hand.
And she
You can warm yourself on it.
she snaps, and then she's holding this small flame in her hand, and it's pretty nice and warm, like a little campfire, just for you.
Warm my hands up, and then I'm gonna start looking down the alley to see if I just got us busted.
Perfect.
So do I
Perception
need
check.
2 hands to
You do, yeah, for thieves' tools to unlock a door.
Alright, I'm good.
warm? Okay, I'm gonna put it away.
And you dismiss the flame as easily as you brought it into being.
Oh,
Ah,
cool.
flame, don't come back. Can I try this lock?
Yep. Go and use your thieves' tools.
Okay.
And as you see Tazir trying the similar thing, and again, ice crawls up the tools. Make a Constitution saving throw. And you take 12 points of frost damage as you see it climb up and like you see it crawl across her hands and almost encase her hands in ice as she's left holding her tools frozen to the lock.
Have I mentioned I don't like ice?
I'm gonna start breathing on the ice just to try it.
You breathe on it mightily, but it melts just a little bit. You see a single drop of water.
I can't make fire.
Can I summon my flame again? Or
Yes,
am
yeah, you can.
I frozen to the door.
You can produce. So you have just enough room in between your hands. You produce the flame. Oh, nice, critical. And as you do, your hands are frozen like this, and you kind of push out just enough to. And then as you produce the flame, it's extra hot, and you just burst out, moving and pulling your hands off, and then shake off the water as it bursts into steam. And then look at your tools. They're slightly burnt. You test them out. Okay, they don't seem broken. Lockpick might need to be replaced, but you probably get a little bit more use out of it.
All right.
I've got. So.
So I'm not gonna do that again.
To try again.
Out of practice. Yeah.
You might need to warm up. I'm kind of the jokester of the group. You'll get used to it. I'm gonna try.
Can
You're
I
gonna
roll
try
to see if it's funny?
Oh, you know whether it's funny or not.
Yeah, what are you gonna make a Constitution saving throw?
I make a deception.
Ward off
I
your
think
joke.
it's funny.
All right, so with a 20, you get in
Make a
there and you get the
wisdom.
last
If you fail, it's funny.
the last two tumblers, and you get the last two, and that lock opens.
I cracked myself up. That's just what I needed. Is it unlocked?
Yep.
Sweet. I open the door.
Oh, there's one more lock. There's the middle one.
Oh, that's what I meant. It was the door was unlocked.
No, there's still the middle lock with the which you now know,
Oh.
which you
Like,
saw as electrical damage.
It's okay. I'm glad I didn't unattune for my armor. Damn. Nope.
Zap.
Shit.
Let's see. Oh man. Yeah, another Constitution saving throw.
Oh, that's good.
12. And as you go to reduce to 6 because of your armor, as you see him go to do this, you see him like careful, and then and all of his feathers fly up, and then he like rocks back for a second, and you see like the electricity that's that course like across his forehead and then into his armor, and you see the runes on his armor glow, and then
Can I add inspiration to that?
what's that?
What's our inspiration roll again?
It's a 1d6.
Nah, I'll save it.
Okay. But yes, yeah, you could have. And don't forget, you're a cleric. Did you take guidance?
I did, but I'm an idiot and
Okay.
decided not to do that.
Okay.
Stupid.
Wait.
Like, I got this. I'm gonna use that kind of electrical current still on my fingertips and just slap myself on the forehead. Cast guidance.
Perfect. So add your 1d4 to your next roll that you'd like to. And
Save stalls. I'm gonna add a D4.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
And so,
Tiny be praised.
and as you're reaching in, you suddenly you can almost see the current coursing through you. And as you're going to tap a moment, you feel the lightning of magic at the very back of it leap into your pick, but this time instead of flowing through it, it pushes it slightly. And you catch the last tumbler with it, unlocking the door.
I told you I was good at this stuff. It might not seem that way because I'm not, but I am.
How
Anyway,
much
so-
damage did you take from the door?
Good job.
Took the fucking door, gave me nearly 20 points of damage.
Wow. Oh man, I thought I got
Yeah.
busted by the door.
I mean,
Yeah, 18.
perfect.
Traps, man.
And so
Traps.
you open the door. The inside is dark,
You-
and you still hear the bubbling.
Okay.
You're making chicken wings. Watch out.
That's very bad for me.
I thought
guess
so.
I'll delve in and try and get a look around.
Perfect. All right, so go ahead and make a perception check with disadvantage because it's dark.
But I have advantage because of my straight roll.
Yeah, we can say that. Bam.
Sweet.
Hey, what
And,
if I guess I should do that too. No.
Yeah, do what do you want to do?
I want a sneaky
Perfect.
also.
So go ahead and roll a stealth check, both of you.
I just did mine.
And as you look back towards the door, Tazir is nowhere to be seen. With a fucking 35, because Passive of the Face is still going. Just it has like a tiny bit left, but you look around and you see Tazir is just gone. But you're like, what the fuck? And you start looking around though, and you see as your eyes adjust to it, you see there's the dust is everywhere still
Oh,
in this
I did
background. Uh,
collect
This way.
collectible. That shit is awesome. Can I like?
It is a fine
gonna try at the
powder.
end.
It'll take a while, and you don't know how well it'll work a second time. But if that's something you want to try,
I'm gonna save that for the end.
okay. All right. So, but then as you kind of look around, you hear the bubbling coming in from the other room.
Go check out the bubbling.
Perfect.
Then
And,
there's no like.
there's still no light. Yeah, you guys haven't brought any lights or anything. So
Can I don't know, do a perception
Yeah.
check to try and see if I can tell any better now that we're inside?
definitely.
Did I perceive anything?
And so as you're looking, do you have dark vision? I forget. I think you do.
I don't know, but I glow in the dark, right? No, just kidding.
If you want
Where
to,
would I
yeah.
find? Where would I find that? The
Should
dark.
Features and traits.
What?
I think it's in
Sorry.
featured trait D&D Beyond.
features
Oh
and
yeah. Oh,
traits.
I forgot to open that today.
It's
'cause
okay.
I am on top of it.
I gotcha. Here we go. So it's before deja vu. Damn it, that's gonna be forever. Yeah, dark vision 60 feet.
Like I've been to this space before.
Yay!
All right, so in the dark, you look around and you haven't been here before. You see a fine layer of dust covering everything in the room. But looking around, you also see that there are a bunch of there's a workbench with a bunch of writing utensils and a stack of like a rack of glasses next to it, and then you see there's like all of these drawers and cabinets around, and then the work table you see also doubles as a bench. Looking at it, you see that there's a mechanism that you can pull it up and lock it, and then push it down and lock it again. Although it doesn't come up very tall, which is weird. And then kind of looking around, you see there's bits of there's big spots on the ground where there's less dust than others, and you see footprints that lead out of the dust. There's a whole bunch of them that lead into the next room.
I tell her not to disturb the dust.
I'll do my best.
That shit like killed some dwarves. It killed.
The dust?
It's pretty cool. I'm a pretty big. You'll see. It's pretty awesome. but don't disturb the desk.
All right. There's
Yes.
footsteps going into the other room in the dust.
And is the door closed into the other room?
The door is still shattered off of its hinges.
Oh, it's that door.
Yeah.
I know that door. uh, I'll hmm. Hey, Taz, I can't really see very well.
You are breaking
But
up
if I
something wicked. What was that?
Oh, sorry.
Is it with something
Taz.
or is it just me?
Do you want flames again?
Well, I mean, I can cast light, but stealth is out the window at that point.
It's very true. Nothing like a floating light to give you away.
You want to get out of the room since you can see in the dark?
Yes.
Alright, I'll hang out here and shoot anything that's not you that comes out.
Sounds good. I'm gonna sneak over to the other room.
Perfect.
Not-
And,
What?
Knocking an arrow.
oh, you're not gonna.
Okay.
And so as you sneak into the other room, you kind of peek around the door frame. Make another perception check. And looking around, you see a kettle made of glass, still boiling. You see the tea inside of it is super, super dark. You get the idea that it was kind of left here in a hurry. And looking at this side of the door, you see there's a little bit of powder from the other room that's been trampled into here. You get the idea there's been quite a lot of people coming through here. And as you're kind of stooping down to look at the tracks, you're counting, you get... 3 were carried out by another 12, and then 1 person was dragged out, kicking and putting up quite a fight as you're reading the tales in the dust. And then you look around. There's the stairs there's a stairway all the way to the far right of the room, and the banister has been broken. You're looking at the dust and kind of tracing the story of it. You see, probably had somebody holding onto that banister, and they were pulled off of it as it broke and drug out of here. You see, and then as you look at the banister itself, you see it has kind of burns on the wood that you would associate with electrical damage. Kind of, and that's what you get when you looking around the room. You see, oh yeah, I forgot. And on the walls, you see various kind of like there's a bunch of like small toys, a bunch of mechanical things. You see a mechanical, what looks like a drill, but it is powered by magic. You see a set of goggles, and then like a welding mask on the wall, and what else is in there? Yeah, and then behind the desk you see there's just like there's a safe, and some jerky under the counter as well.
All right. I guess you don't want to come in here, Uza, or you do?
There's nobody in there?
There's no one in here, so there's clearly been a struggle, but
Oh.
there's no one in here right now. There's stuff to steal, though.
I'm on that. I'm actually going to go into that back room and I'm going to cast light.
Perfect. What are you casting it on?
One of the little bits of wood from the door,
Perfect.
and then I'm actually going to kind of put it in the corner so it's only lighting the room and not so much the outer room, if that makes sense.
Perfect. Yeah. So you put it in the corner, and it basks the air in this kind of bluish, comforting light.
Okay, let's snatch and run. I see the crystal container, the globe that spins.
You do. It is right on his desk where he said. You see the globe itself has been knocked off of the stand and is about to roll off the desk, but nothing disturbed it, so it stayed right there at the corner.
I grab that and I'm going to shove that in the bag of holding. I'm
Perfect.
going to grab the welding mat, that in the bag of holding.
Okay. Write them down.
Yep. So I got the goggles. You said there were goggles?
They're pairs of glasses. There's 4 of them on the desk, and they're in like this display rack.
Grabbing all 4 of those.
Perfect.
Do I see the goggles that you had mentioned to Taz?
They're in the other room.
Oh, okay. I'm going to. Oh, is my favorite paper there?
It is. You see the.
Oh, I'm definitely grabbing that, and I'm putting that in my bag.
Perfect. You grab the two leather cylinders and put them in your backpack.
Okay.
Tazir, anything you taken?
I want to open the safe.
Okay.
Or try to.
Okay.
Can I check for traps?
You can. Inspection.
Investigation?
That's the
Inspection?
one.
Oh.
Investigation.
Oh, I'm not gonna find traps because I'm not very intelligent.
Apparently you
Okay,
are.
well that went better than I thought it was
That's a
going.
good one.
So as you're looking at the safe, you notice it's not the safe itself that is trapped, but as you're kind of looking, it's recessed a little bit, and as you're looking, you see above it that if you were to pull open the door, there's just a small trap that would drop a stone, kind of like a sliding stone door that would close off the safe and put it behind that.
Alright. I'd like to attempt to disarm the trap.
Perfect. Use the thieves' tools check. It's not a very complicated trap. In fact, you find it kind of strange that this trap is so much easier than any of the others that you ran into so far. You're looking at it, and you're like, wait a minute, it's just a spring and release, okay, and then you just hold it down, and it clicks into place, and you pull the latch over it, and it stays exactly where it's supposed to. Like, it'd be only if you didn't see it where the cleverness was, but even then, it's not that clever of a trap.
Do I see what she's doing?
You see her crouched behind the counter.
What? Hey, Taz, what's up? What you up to?
There's a safe back here.
Oh, okay. Here you go. And,
And a trap.
You do what?
Slapped who?
I slap guidance onto her.
Oh.
And so, as you see, you're cool, and then you feel this hand touch the top of your head, and
Whoa, hey, whoa.
you take 2 fire damage from her hair.
It was gonna. I mean, I didn't specify the shoulder, but okay. That's fair.
I'm just messing with you.
I mean, I'll take it. It's
No,
fine.
you're fine. You're fine. I'm just messing with you. You wouldn't
Make
put
me
your
an even
hand.
20 damage.
You wouldn't
from
stick
this
your hand
MPS
into like a
building.
freaking live fire. So you're fine.
You don't know me.
All right, you take it. Fuck it. Not looking over. So you gotta put your hand out and kind of forgetting you're looking at some of the stuff on the wall, trying to see what's gonna be useful. Oh shit! Ha ha! But she gets the guidance. So you can add a 1d4 to your next or
It's
one.
not cold
one of
anymore,
your,
at least. Yeah.
Yeah, next time, you freeze your hands, just do that.
I thought it might have been weird to, like, bond her hair, but yeah, I mean, I'm learning. I'm learning.
Learn something new every day.
Perfect.
So I'm gonna try to open the safe.
Perfect. Use your thieves' tools.
Come on, thieves' tools.
Yeah, D4 to it as well.
All right. Thank you, Uza. Very kind of you.
All right. Perfect.
Oh, a cloudy hump.
Yes.
That is
Hey.
exactly what you needed. So this one's
Yeah,
a different type of
teamwork.
lock. It's not a tumbler, but you have this this listening device, which is just basically a cone. You put up to it, and as you're starting to turn the dial, you hear the clicking to try to get it in just the right places. And this one is super faint and very hard to hear. But eventually, after a little messing with it for just a little bit, you start hearing where the clicks are, where the tumblers turn on, and you get the numbers. And you're right, and you're like, okay, so a 6, a 3, and then a 13. And then as you get the order pretty quickly as they kind of fall into place, and then you hear it unlock, and you pull the handle and open the safe. Inside
Yeah.
the safe, you see a sack of gold.
Wait.
And you see a bunch of plans. They seem to be blueprints for items.
This seems worth it.
I mean, yeah, I'll take the plans. And just jam them into the bag of holding as well.
Perfect.
How much gold is in the...
So taking a look at it, it's pretty hefty. You're kind of looking at it, and as you kind of like open it up, it's not just gold, but there's also some platinum in there as well. And kind of sorting through it, you get
count your money when you sit at the table.
Say what?
Never count your money while you're sitting at the table. This old guy named Kenny told me that.
Oh. Well, we can split it up when we get back, yeah?
You ransacking the rest of my workplace.
Oh my god, did you just make a Kenny Loggins joke? You
I
fucking monster.
did. Thank you for getting that.
Oh, god bless. Okay. Alright, okay. And then so you were breaking up, so
Thank God I don't know anything about Kenny Loggins.
consider
Oh.
yourself lucky. So, other than that, you guys, anything else in the shop you guys want to
Why
grab or
see
look around?
anything else of interest?
You do see the drill. That seems to be
Taking
some
it.
sort of. Okay, you toss it in there. You see a bunch of wind-up toys, and
Taking them.
you see you see a pick that's kind of like automated.
Taking it.
Okay. Let's see what else would be in there.
I'm taking some shards, some of the thinner shards of the wood as well.
Perfect.
Maybe those will
Oh,
fix.
You do see when you're in this front room, there's a kind of like this this cup full of like sticks that look like wands.
Grab all those.
6 in total. And then let's see. Other than that, you just see like some pricings for enchantments on mundane items, and then you see it's just like this big chalkboard that you see a bunch of stuff that's been kind of it's weird because the device names are clearly in one handwriting and the prices in another, and then the
There's
prices
real
have
boss.
been erased
Big-headed
a few
boss.
times.
No glove, huh?
No glove.
Did I grab those goggles?
Yes, you did.
What goggles?
Mystery goggles.
Question marks. All right, and then I'm gonna. It's like Taz. You want anything else?
No, I'm good.
I'm gonna we'll head out, and I'm gonna see if I can gather any more of the dust of coughing and sneezing into. I have an empty vial.
Okay.
Actually, no, I have the thing for the coughing, and I still have that, so I'll just try and put it back into that.
Okay. Let's make a dexterity check, just straight.
Oh, that's a mistake. My bad.
That's okay. Let's see, what did you roll? So 15. We'll take
I know.
the 15 that you roll plus 4, so 19 altogether. It is really difficult to dust to swipe, so you have to like pull it into piles first before you can get it, and it's taking a little bit of time, and every once in a while like it just comes up and there's no choice but to sneeze. Both
After the first. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say you get about a quarter full over the course of like 15 minutes, just scooping things, and you sneeze. By the end of it, you're feeling like a really bad allergy day. You're just like, I gotta.
So a quarter of the coughing and sneezing.
And do you want to keep trying
I'm
to?
done. I'm sorry.
Perfect. And then we'll cut over to Visair and Zephyr. You guys have made your way through the town, being pretty sneaky. Didn't seem to really catch any notice as you were making your way through. So, but then you kind of make your way into Hamada's. That is not the proper. There we go.
Aw, they get music?
Well, the
You
music
just
fits you
had
guys.
some music.
Oh, I actually didn't hear
We're
any
too
of that.
badass
Oh,
for
yeah.
music. Yeah, I didn't hear any music during ours.
Oh,
either.
well,
Oh, yeah, you guys
I
had-
heard it.
You guys had music the whole time.
Oh, well, good for you.
I know, right?
That's
Make
how
sure your
silent
music is
we
on.
were. We didn't even get music.
So sneaky. But you did get music. So as the two of you make your way over into Hamada's shop, as you kind of open the door, she's sitting behind the counter. You see she's kind of like nodding off already. She looks up. Oh, well, welcome to the shop. Is there anything I can do for you?
Helmata, it's Zephyr.
Well, you're looking very strange these days, my dear. But that's okay.
Yeah, for safety's sake, I had a favor to ask of you.
Why, of course.
I was wondering, first of all, if you had any superior healing potions?
Healing potions? Well, of course I do, my dear. That's kind of one of my bags. I do have a few available back here. Are you going to be purchasing these?
Yes.
Well, very well.
How many do you have?
She pulls out 3 superior healing potions and kind of like puts them on the counter.
Okay, I will take all of those.
Of course.
You got any lesser healing potions?
Of course. Sorry. She kind of like shakes her head and pulls out another 4 lesser healing potions.
Alright. So just regular healing potions, or?
Yeah, just regular healing potions. So 4 regular and 3 superior.
Okay, so I will buy all of those.
Well, excellent. That's fantastic news for me. It's not often people buy these anymore because it's well, not a lot of people need them. What are you gonna be doing with that so I can decide how much your discount is? She kind of winks at you.
Well, I'm gonna be saving the city, my dear woman.
Yes, and saving it from whom?
Hopefully from a mad king.
Sounds quite intriguing and worth a fairly decent discount, I should say. Let's see. I suppose.
Oh, don't tally it up yet. I
well,
also
alright.
want to ask you if you have some ingredients I would need for making more of those potions that you gave me, the dragon breath potion.
The dragon breath, unfortunately, those are a bit harder to come by. I would only really had one for the single use, but I figured it was in the right hands.
Do you have any hang on. I'm looking at I pull out the recipe and okay, do you have any materials from dragons that I can buy?
Materials from dragons. And as she says dragons, Vicer, you see Faf kind of like wiggle his way out of your long dwarfish hair, and you see he kind of like sticks his head out and looks over. It looks like you've got one right there. A nice little fey dragon, aren't you? And she kind of like beckons him over, and he flies over and lands on the counter, and she starts to like scritch the back of his head, and it gets under his chin. He's like, oh yeah, he's really enjoying that. Ah, yes, that is. Well, you could always milk this one. They have a euphoria breath that it'll be open up. You come on. And Faf's like looking at her like she's crazy, and then she's come on. And then he opens up a little bit, and she kind of like holds his mouth open, and then she kind of like brings his head over to you. See right there? And he's in the back of, and as you're looking in there, you see these 2 like kind of, they just look like big muscles as you're looking at them. But as she's pointing, he's like, those are where the euphoria breath comes from. That mixed with the magic inside of the blood. So if you can get, would you mind? She kind of like she reaches under and pulls out this kind of like empty vial from her pouches at her belt, and then she kind of like holds it out for Faf, and Faf looks at her. He looks at you guys like, do I have to?
If you don't mind, Faf.
And he looks at her again, and then you see he like starts to like cat with a hairball.
Nightmare.
And he fills up just like about an 1/8 of the vial, and she's like, that should do plenty. Thank you, little one. And she scratches his head again, and then gets under the chin, and he's like back to enjoying it. And then she's like, well, you take. So you see. This we could use to make another dragon's breath potion, but it'll have the effects of the euphoria breath instead. Quite useful most of the time, you see?
What does euphoria breath do?
The euphoria breath is quite interesting, actually. You'll see that it actually target. So it basically it renders them almost stupid, my dear. They can either do nothing or move in a random direction. It's quite useful when you're trying to confound an enemy.
Oh, I like that. And I was paying close attention to what she was doing, so it's like maybe I could use that for the future. But so I I guess I've collected faffs,
So you have
cough
the
syrup.
so and she's like, well, and she kind of like reaches in the counter and picks up a few things. She drops some leaves into a tea. Oh, excuse me. Oof, that's gross. Pull up the right thing here. And then you see, so she takes that, and then you see she takes like this kind of, it looks dried out and it's hard to tell. And she's like, it's seaweed, and she crumples it into the vial, and then a little bit of, let's go with, and she's kind of like, you know, that inspiration cooking that people do, where they like just smell something and like decide, and then, yes, and then she grabs this, she holds up like this vial of this oil, and she pops it open. She's like, this oil is made from, it's a natural occurring wild garlic oil that should help enrapture the smell part of the senses as the euphoria breath. And she corks it back down, puts it in. It's actually more of a lavender garlic. I know it sounds strange and is very confusing to smell, which should help with that. And then, well, just some, and she pours some of the boiling seaweed water into the vial to fill it up. Then she corks it off and then shakes it. And as she shakes it, you see the it's looking like a little just like leaves in water, and then just like this grit at the bottom. And as she shakes it furiously, you see it kind of the bottom stuff comes loose, and it starts to shimmer and then like a rainbow explode up from like the bottom of the vial, and then it constantly looks like a cascading, sparkling rainbow inside of a bottle. That should do it. She hands you over.
Neat.
So I now have a euphoria potion.
You have a dragon's breath potion of euphoria breath. So instead of the damage, it does euphoria breath. So let me go ahead and make that here for you.
Okay. So I got one of those, and then I also want to pick up a very large plethora of hallucinogenics, venoms, poisons, any materials that I can use. I would like to perhaps use your lab if you wouldn't mind, because I have a couple experiments in mind.
Certainly something we can do for you. The only thing is, what recipes do you know?
Well, not necessarily no. I'm working on a couple of potions. One I'm calling Dead Man's Revenge. It's a potion magic combo that makes the affected person hallucinate a vengeful image of the last person they killed. Small things like insects and small animals would be big. And they have the appearance they had on death.
Oh, gruesome idea, but probably very effective against whoever it might be that you want to use that on. She gives you a wink.
I have an idea of the poisons and venoms and some of the herbs that I would need to use, but I'm not exactly sure yet. The next one would be something I'm calling Mauling Madness.
Madness. My dear girl, you do not screw around when you name things.
Well, I want this one to cause tactile hallucinations.
Oh my.
So they can actually feel what's happening. So it's going to have to include a very hefty amount of poison. But I also want it to befuddle and
befuddle and
horrify.
confuse, horrify as well. I think I know something we can use for that, definitely.
And then my last one that I thought of was something called Fire Scritch.
Fire Scritch? Oh lord.
I know plenty of itchy plants, and I want to create a powder out of those that produces a burning and itching feel that makes the target extremely distracted.
Normally I'm creating potions to stop the itching. She thinks she's hilarious. Like, you can tell this is like
It took me a minute to get that.
Holy fuck.
Better late than
1,
never.
2, 3. Oh, I get it.
Holy crap, that was amazing.
I'm just trying to butter her up.
All right, old lady. Just give us the things, you
Laugh
old
from Fi-
lady.
It's just the tightest laugh from Final.
So with
Oh my god.
Oh god.
So I hand her over a list of materials, and then I say, I need as much of these items as you can give me until I can create these potions and make them viable.
All right, very well. Let's take a look at these. Well, I mean, for the
What do you think the total cost would be?
The total cost. Well, it all depends. If I can learn these potions, it would definitely decrease your overall costs. So I'd say, well, you should stay here for a small amount of time with me, and we should get these potions going. I would say for many of these, we're going to need a few ingredients I know I do not have. The Mulling Madness. There is a myconid colony that has an apocap mushroom. That is something that would be of a great use to us, as it does affect the brain directly. But of course, with the immune systems of most, that they would need the magical infusion from the myconid colony would be enough to make it have a temporary effect and also help it bypass the immune system. So we could get that from the myconid colony. Let's see, that is...
Is that nearby?
Well, technically it is on the outskirts of the city. It's a little farther into the Underdark, but it's definitely accessible. Let's see. For the Dead Man's Revenge, I believe kind of a more powerful hallucinogen. There is a... Well, we could use a variation on Bard Spice and mix it with the Enoch that you have. And then what could give it that extra kick? Oh, there's the Morpheus, the Morpheus flower. The root from that would bring back those haunting visions. Those could be found on the slopes of the mountain near the peak outside. I think that's what we would need for this.
So, since I can't necessarily run around as well, we are disguised.
Yes, we are.
You want to go do a little foraging with me, Vicer?
Yeah, might as well. That'll be much use to anyone else. So let's do it.
Let's do it.
Bye.
Where would you guys...
Tomato, we will be back.
Well, all right. I'll be getting the rest of these things ready. A few things do need to boil, and boil, stir, and trouble, all that other nonsense. It's all nonsense. One other thing. Could you perhaps bring me just something to drink?
I hand her my flask.
She pours it into a cup of tea that she's having, and she does like one of these, and then weighs the flask in her hand, pours another little bit, weighs it in her hands, looks at you, shrugs, empties it, and then screws it back on. Another discount for you, dear. And she hands it back.
Right. Well,
Hey.
that is it. Do you have any idea where there's some more Enoch available?
Well, Enoch I have growing here for medical purposes, but I'm sure I have enough for this, actually.
I'll buy your entire supply.
Black hole.
Back.
Well, I don't know if I'd want to give up my entire stock, but I'll let you buy
Not
it
the
with
entire-
the extra that I have.
Black hole.
And hopefully a whole plant so that I could grow my own.
Oh, all Enoch pods are able to grow if you have a place and some fertile soil for them. That is one of the interesting. And you see, she kind of goes over to the wall where there's this Enoch vine growing up and over, and she plucks one down, and it's about like egg sized, but a little longer and a little flatter. A shark egg. That's the exact size it would be, a shark egg size. I don't know why that was just suddenly hit me,
How
but-
big is a shark egg?
Not that big.
It's like a purse.
About that? Did you just say about that big?
Yeah, well, I have a camera, so I can do that.
Oh, I can't see you on the camera.
yeah,
sorry.
That's your
refresh.
fault. I saw it.
I
And
saw it.
so
Fucked, yo.
it's pretty spiky on the top, but then the bottom, you see, as she pulls it off, the glow kind of dims in it, but the glow's still there. And she's like, as long as you're careful and plant it within, I'd say day, you always have a chance to grow some more.
That is fantastic. We will talk price when we return with the items.
Excellent, excellent. I will be here getting other things ready. Until then, I wait to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we head out.
Perfect.
Go for the Myconid colony first, Vicer?
I'll follow wherever you go. I have no idea what we're doing.
We're gonna go get the mushrooms first.
Alright.
Perfect. And then, Bloodscale, was there anything you wanted to do while everybody's on their different things?
I'll talk to Fendrick.
Fendrick, okay. As you kind of wander over to the halfling, he's deep in conversation with the gnome Gimzek, and you see they're both. At first, you see them like talking and nodding a lot, and then they seem to be having like this small argument on what can and cannot be done when you walk up. It's like, no, I'm
actually-
telling you.
Actually, if I see them like deep conversation, I'd be like, okay, and then I'm gonna go talk to Aziz.
Okay. As you go up to the door to the mystical forge door, which her and her husband are both working in. You see them kind of working in silence, and then every once in a while, like you see them catch a glance at each other, and they just kind of smile and then go back to hammering.
That's adorable. Bloodscale says that out.
Oh, hello there. I didn't see you there. I was hoping. Well, you didn't. Thank you.
That was adorable. Knock it off.
Well,
kidding.
and then as Needy looks at you, she's like, "I'll stop when I'm dead."
Said I'm kidding. You can do whatever you want. Shit.
I didn't need your permission for it, but okay. What can I do for you, Bloodscale?
Trying to have some fun. God damn. Somebody's all like, oh, the town sucks. Oh, we're all gonna die. Oh, all down here. Calm down.
All I'm hearing is
Shit.
jealousy. What do you want?
That's no.
Oh.
So you smith things apparently.
Aye.
So I have a question.
Okay.
Do you have any way of making this goddamn armor of mine quieter?
Armor quieter. Let's take a look at it. And she kind of walks over. And he walks over with her, and they're kind of like kind of flanking you all of a sudden, both like on each side, kind of looking at your armor, picking it up, kind of. Well, it'd be hard, but we can at least bring it down a little bit. I'm not sure how much quieter we could make it. It'll never be fully quiet without magic, but I believe this is enough to work with. If we get some padding, we can pad the joints. That's right. Actually, we could fill those joints in, and then if there are any places we can fuse together, like at the shoulder pads, so they don't move as much, it'll restrict your movement slightly, but it will definitely make it a lot sneakier. Aye, that's
Okay,
what I was thinking.
restricting movement sounds slightly bad. Figure.
All right, so we can leave that part alone, but as adding some padding here and there, I'm sure we can help a little bit, if nothing else.
I'm tired of jingle jangling while everybody's like, "Oh, we should be sneaky." I'm like, "I can't do that."
Many a dwarf has suffered from that, I tell you. Right, yeah, take it off, leave it with us. We'll see what we can do.
All right. I do just that.
So you shrug off your armor, and it comes off pretty easily. You've done this a few times, but it's and then it's been so long since you've had to take it off for any other reason but sleep. It is kind of feel weird, and oddly freeing to be without it.
Light and bouncy.
Light and bouncy, you can breathe a lot better. It's pretty nice.
Light and bouncy. And then I'll go annoy the fucking.
Perfect. And so you head over to them. They seem to have agreed on whatever it was they were previously heatingly debating. And then
Well, that's good.
oh yeah. And so they kind of turn to you, and Gimzek turns last as Fendrick seems to notice you first, as Gimzek seems almost completely lost in thought. Oh, yes, Bloodscale, my friend who saved me from, well, many, well, let's say death. It would be death, yes. Well, I think death is a fair wager of our friendship. Uh, how did all of this come to be? What are we doing exactly, other than enchanting copper pots with... would you mind filling me in?
I'm surprised he didn't.
Well, I just heard Rashildalin was, whoever that is, was having a coup?
Yeah, welcome to the Resistance.
Ah, yes,
Congratulations.
as Alcaeus said, the coup in Khirn, and then he smiled to himself in a rather disturbing way.
Isn't that just his normal smile?
Yes, but every once in a while it's directed at things that I'm asking him, and I'm not entirely sure I like that.
That's entirely. But yeah, I mean that is the gist of it.
All right, so what is this
So
despot
you're on the
done?
coup side.
Oh, we're on the coup side. All right. What is the horrible despot done?
Well, first of all, he's a terrible racist.
Oh, that's never good.
He's partnered with Dugongs.
Dugongs, the terrors of the sea, gentle sea creature. I think you mean Dugongs. He kind of like smiles.
Oh,
That's
man.
all I wanted. That's all I
caught
wanted
that
right there.
Venture Brothers reference.
Gentle sea mammals have all the answers. Sorry. Overthrowing. Okay, that's fantastic. More justice in the world, as I'm learning, is quite important, apparently, according to Alcaeus.
Oh, and the fucking king killed his family.
Oh, well, no one should kill people's families. That is quite rude and uncalled for.
And probably a bunch of other people's families.
Oh.
Ran everybody who's not a dwarf out of town.
All right, well, that's good enough reason to.
Giant tool.
So we're not just cooing. We're not just overthrowing. We're probably. This is one of those situations, isn't it, where we're just gonna kill him or not? Is that
I mean, possibly. I don't know. I don't know. How it's gonna work.
Well, it
I
could
don't
be.
think we're gonna do it. I think he wants to do it.
He does seem rather cheery for such a grim task.
So while I'm talking about Rash's family being murdered, did his face change at all?
You see, Rash is he's sitting behind this like kind of like desk with all of the papers that you saw before that he went and tapped and organized, and you see every once in a while he glances up, and then when you mention his family, his face just kind of flattens out, and then from this like small smile that had been on the corner, it just flattens dead, and then when Fendrick mentions his disposition, almost this giant smile goes across his face. He's like,
Yep, okay, yep. Should probably talk too loud, I understand. But yeah. Welcome to the coup. Do you have any brilliant ideas of what we should do?
Well, as far as a coup is gone, I've never been part of a coup before, which should be new, fun, and different, I suppose. But I don't really know of anything that I have that is going to be of amazing utility. I mean, I always have, and he kind of pulls out. He secretly pulls out his wand and like shows it, and then puts it back.
Could just said the stick.
The stick, yes, the stick. I do have the stick still. I have my not too uncanny magics, of course. I've learned some
Yeah.
more since our time together.
Well, that's good. But I mean, like, any ideas?
Well,
Like at all? Possibly for a situation like this?
Well, let me see.
We got our sorcerer working on some sort of pattern that when you look into it, fucks up your brain. Trying to get it all over the entire city?
Oh, that would be, well, horrible, but amazing. There is one ritual that I could probably help. I can connect, well, 8 willing creatures' minds together, so as we sneak through the city, we could speak into our minds.
That might be helpful, yeah. I
Excellent.
could see that being somewhat decent.
Perfect.
What about like for distractions or
Distractions. So more of the illusory
Duergar border.
magic.
or maybe assassinations?
I do have a spell called Mislead, where I I become invisible, but an illusory double of me takes my place, and I can move it as though and see through its eyes and react how it's reacting, while staying wherever I was. Would that be some, helpful as
I mean,
far as a distraction?
that'll probably be helpful when, if like you're in the thick of it, because you probably shouldn't be.
I'm not one who really enjoys the thick of it, I'm afraid.
Yeah, so let's keep that in your back pocket for you.
All right. I do have the vitriolic sphere, a giant sphere of acid that I can move about, which probably caused quite the kerfuffle.
I'm thinking more like large scale, less damage.
Large scale, most damage. Well, fortunately, not
Like
too
we're
much.
doing our best to keep innocence out of this.
Ah, I see. Unfortunately,
I mean, our best is going to be our best.
most of my spells are not of the illusory nature. I tend to study more of the the divination techniques. And
Do you have any way of burning down a warehouse from afar?
oh yes, of course. Firebolt's a simple spell and cast enough times will light most anything on fire. that I can help with.
But I mean from afar.
Well, a firebolt, I can fire that from 120 feet away.
That's pretty good.
I know, right?
Think you can light a ship on fire that's kind of frozen to the dock?
Well, ships usually have they are a little less flammable usually. I would probably say.
Yeah, but it's like entirely adjoined to the dock.
I'd say for that I would at least have to use a chromatic orb of fire, and that would do. I could do that at 90 feet away.
Oh, they're whalers. They're assholes. I kind of don't care about them. anyways.
Another thing that might be of help, I do have an arcane eye, an invisible magical eye I can move around to see things.
That's creepy.
It's invisible. It's not so creepy. It's a little creepy.
Well, now that I know it exists, it's creepy.
I won't use it. I would never use it to spy on you, my good sir.
Good. You don't want to see the things I.
He's a liar. Oh no. Who's a
I mean,
liar?
you still don't want to see the things that I would do anyways. That's not a lie.
Well, I'm fairly certain that there are certain times none of us need to be looked in on, and so I don't really want to see those things. So I generally keep it for emergency situations only.
Good call. No.
Shit.
Well, if there's anything you can think of, I'm always here to help. And,
Oh, do you have any way of like, if you can connect people's brains, do you have any way of like massively sowing some discord?
massively showing Discord. Well, I have found out that this does. The stick does have some few things that might help with that.
Like maybe get an entire city to realize.
Well, let me see. What I figured out from it, it could cause a massive earthquake in a 100-foot radius.
That just seems like innocent to me.
That is true. That is true. Let's see. Well, let's see. Something that doesn't harm, but would keep people.
Can you create a big ass thing that's not real?
I do not have that sort of illusory magic, unfortunately. No, not that I've discovered yet.
Okay, that's fair.
Sorry.
Can't know them all.
This is true. You're a very, very astute observation, my friend.
Only on the occasion.
Well,
I don't know. I just think on it.
okay. Well, I got that.
Anything will probably be helpful. Although we could still probably use you to either burn down a warehouse or burn down a boat, or maybe both.
Of course. I can definitely do that.
It'll be in the middle of the night either way.
Really?
Hopefully when no one's around.
One thing that might help is I
Ah!
did figure out how to use the spell seeming with this stick.
I don't know what that is.
It allows you to change the appearance of any number of creatures within, let's see, I think it's 30 feet, and give them a new illusory appearance. And
Oh, that'd be sweet.
yes, it disguises clothing, armor, weapons, and you can even appear 1 foot shorter, taller, or thin, or fat. And it lasts for 8 hours. So if that's something of use, I mean, it's the
I
only.
mean, yeah, we could use that to get around the city, couldn't we?
I don't know. Is there a problem getting around the city?
Yeah, they know what we look like, and we're not exact dwarves.
Ah, well, all right then.
Or, you know, Duragar or whatever.
Well then, when you're ready, I'll see if I can get this confounded thing. And he kind of looks he looks down into his coat to do what it's supposed to do, and take it from there.
Okay, that's all right. Have fun talking. Gonna go. I don't know. Write a letter.
Yeah, letters always good. Tell Arceus I'm here and not dead.
Okay.
Now, if you don't mind, I'd need him here to. Now, this dispel magic wands. As soon as they get here, can you just write this down in the book? Be very careful. Be very detailed about this spell. I want to make sure I get it correct. Of course, yes. Hold on. And so he goes back to writing down on this piece of paper with a very, very fine ink, and kind of making a scroll. You can see that. That's what they're working on. Mesno's you see Mesno's kind of wandering around looking for something to do before he sits down heavily on just some of the steps on the opposite side.
I will go talk to Maznos. I will take that bait.
No, that was bait. I was just didn't know what to do with it. Okay, it's fine. Hello, blood scale.
What's up, Mezzy?
So things are weird.
Yeah, very.
I don't know what to do with weird anymore, but that's okay.
That's what we got.
This is true.
Do you have any ideas for this fucking nonsense?
Well, I know I can help light things on fire with Scorching Ray. 120
I'm
feet.
trying to keep all of your guys' spells intact.
I do have
Every
dimension.
time that shit happens, fucking Vice gets all pissy.
It is true. That is very true.
Like, I can't shoot things from my hands no more. Bah.
I know. I also feel quite inadequate when I'm unable to do anything. I hadn't thought of it that way. But when the time comes, hopefully I can think of some way to make myself useful. Oh, I can do this. And he transforms back into his dwarvish self. I don't know
Well,
if that
at least
helps.
you can hide.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Hiding's good.
Maybe I can go get a beer. No, that's terrible.
Yeah, that's really bad.
I'm so sorry. I don't know.
Maybe
what
you
I
should
was
just
thinking.
pretend you're mute.
He kind of nods. Gives you a thumbs up.
I like it. It's crafty. You might know how to like make a big ass illusion or weird thing appear in the middle of nowhere, would you?
I only know minor illusion, so only the smallest of things. It would take up hardly any room.
Okay.
Sorry. I didn't know
Run
you.
out
were-
ideas.
No, that's okay. There's always another idea. You just haven't thought of it yet.
They'll suck.
All of your ideas suck.
I think the best one I have is see if he has a pet and then kill it. All sad and shit.
That is very sad. Well, if you kill anybody, I can speak to the dead now, so we can at least ask them what the hell.
It's fair. I don't know.
Yes.
I'm gonna go write a note.
Oh,
Put it in the stupid bottle.
perfect. What does the note say?
It has the bottle still, doesn't he? Shit! I'll just wait for him to get back. Bloodtail's ranting this out loud.
I know. Mesnos is just kind of watching you. You okay?
My brain don't work good.
Right, it's mine, but that's okay.
I'm gonna go right now. Bye.
All right, have fun. He kind of sits there. He's kind of looking around. Puts his head in his little dwarf head in his little dwarf hands, because he seems really small even for a dwarf. Alright, then smash cut back to Tazir and Uzo. Where are you guys headed from here?
I kind of wanted to drop by and pick them up.
Okay, well yours did take a lot less time, so you make your way back. So you and Vicer, go ahead and make stealth checks to make your way back to the Tinkerer's Guild.
Sounds good.
Because you mentioned something about Underdark, and I vaguely remember that's not a good idea to two-team that.
What? It's just the Underdark.
Fuck.
So I was like, go ahead, split the party.
All right, perfect. So,
Party, get arrested. We'll have a laugh.
so you guys make it your way successfully back. There's a few times, like you're moving, and you hear the clink of an armor, and you look back to see a guard looking back at you, but you quickly make your way past and make your way over to the place itself, Tinkerer's Guild. It's still dark in the front, and it still has that sign on it. You guys heard them say they were going to go around back, and as you go around back, you see the door is closed, and it's still dark inside.
So.
Go ahead and make a perception
Find
check.
a door?
Perfect. Both of you see, as you're looking, you see there's a small light source coming from inside. It's barely visible, but you do recognize it as a light that you've seen. It's the same color as one you've seen Uza produce before.
Okay. So. I'm gonna try the door.
Perfect. And so the door is unlocked as you open the door. As you open the door, you see Uza on his hands and knees scooping up dust, and he kind of looks up.
Close the door! You're letting in the breeze! Close.
And you see, as you open the door, a little bit of the dust wafts up into his face, and he like coughs and chokes for a second, lets out one big, huge sneeze, and
We're done. We're done. I'm done. I'm done. Hey. Hey guys.
You're doing great, buddy.
How's it
Thanks.
going? Things going
We're on-
well over here.
So well, we're on fire.
So,
And I
well,
give this big old dumb look over at Taz.
Ha ha ha. I guess I can laugh at this one.
What did she say?
she said she guesses she can laugh at this one.
Oh, nice.
You earned it.
Thanks, pal. Okay, we're.
so we kind of need to make an ingredient run that's kind of near the Underdark and also on the side of the mountain for the ingredients I need for those potions.
Oh, I know what this calls for. 1 second. Mage hands to blood, bro.
Too far
Are we
away.
in earpiece range?
You're not.
Are we
It's
in
too far
earpiece
away.
range? Damn.
We are super far away.
Really don't know how far these go yet.
It's like 300 feet. It's like nothing.
Okay. I thought
Oh.
it was farther.
Round it. Corner. The corner.
It's funny you're cutting out, so all I hear is the.
Kind of work. Hold on. Does that help at all? Am I cutting out less now?
Yes, yeah, that's actually better.
Yeah, they only work for like 300 feet. It's
Okay.
useful
Well-
around it.
Would you guys like to come with us to the Underdark?
I don't know what that is.
Yes, and I have dark vision.
As do I, so it's useful.
Excellent.
But
I think
we
I can
have
see in the dark too.
these ingredients.
Need to
All
see
right.
my
Just Uza that's gonna be blind.
Do you guys
These
want to
are-
go back to the base and pick up Bloodscale and Mesnos too?
Is it on our way time?
From what she described, going back to the base, it's not out of the way, but it's not in the way either. It's kind of like adjacent. So like, if you went, you could go straight there, or you could kind of like dip over, pick them up, and then head out.
All right, let's dip over and pick them up.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you guys, another stealth check for everybody. And before you make the just because you're kind of new, are you passed without tracing them this time as well?
That's a daily, so probably not.
Perfect. Okay. So wait, is it daily?
I thought it was.
Just
so-
so you guys know, I can cast that too, so I just need to rest
sweet.
on it.
Oh, so it's a
I mean,
spell
it
slot.
says one a day. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's
No,
not.
The daily actions are there aren't any of those in 5th edition. Those are a 4th edition thing. You have your
Ew.
spell slots, or what? So that it's just a straight up spell. That's your
Oh,
second,
okay.
second level spell. So you have
Pass without a trace for everyone.
perfect.
Yay!
All right, so and then
Shit, I am fucking invisible.
holy shit! All right, and then
It's in a
Tizir,
different campaign!
you're stealth. You're
Surrounded
stealth.
by vampires that look like you're
Hello.
actual players. Haha!
Oh no!
I'm sorry. Who are you?
I'm gonna be fucking dead in a second.
Get out of here! I'm trying to DM. God. Because you appeared in my room. Nah, fuck it. All right, and then
gotcha.
as much as stealthy as you are, and like Viserys, extra stealthy, but Tazir again seems to like you see her like as she casts this magic, she seems to like put her hands together, and then as she pulls them apart, the darkness gets more intense around her as she pulls it up and then drops her hands, and all of the shadows all of a sudden leap out and then pull in tight and kind of cling to all of you. And Tazir, as she does it, almost disappears completely. You see only 2 pupils. Viser also, the shadows seem to cling extra to you as you tap your robes as they go black. And Viser, even his little dwarvish form, almost invisible.
Shit.
Alright.
And Zephyr is doing her best.
I'm trying.
16 is still pretty good though.
This is why we give her the second controller. Not actually plugged in, but you know.
Damn, that is some cold shit right there.
I'd give her the
Sister
second
controller.
controller.
Yeah, only if she's controlling Tails.
My brother used to do that shit to me all the fucking time.
Man, dude, I'll tell you what though, it's the best when there's like a boss or something and you're just like, get him!
I'm gonna be
Fuck
safe.
him up, Tails!
Fuck
Don't
him
let
up,
me
Tails.
down this time, you little son of a bitch!
Tails is like the fucking Terminator when it comes to boss fights. It just keeps coming, man.
Oh man. All right, so you guys make your way back to the trapdoor. Do you remember the code?
I do.
Perfect. What's the code?
Top left, bottom right, top right. Do it again.
Perfect. All right. And as you come up to it, you see Uzo just pressing at the wall, and he does it really quickly, and then it opens, and then you guys hop down. Can I get a second intelligence check to see if you still remember all the traps are?
Guys, impressed?
Super.
Very.
Yep, you remember where everything is, and you kind of guide everybody around. Even though Tazir is super hard to see, just these floating eyes that you don't always see following behind you, but you manage to make you guys make your way back to the Gimzek's or Gimzek
Grin
Shildalin's,
so he can see my
pit.
mouth too.
And you see just these white teeth and this smile following you.
And
As you guys,
fire, hidden, dark, but I love it. Great.
and as
Love
you
it.
as you guys make your way through, most of you sneak right in, and then as Zephyr, as you make it in, all of a sudden the 2 golems near the door, they come down and they get ready to punch, and they get super close to you.
Ah! What?
The hell is that? Drop
It's
your
me!
form, whoever you are. Oh lord. All right.
Can I cancel the spell?
Yes, yeah, you can dispel it.
Oh no, she has a brooch on. Never mind, sorry. That's
Yeah.
not how that.
All right, drop your disguise, whoever you are, before we pummel you into death. I mean, look at them. They're gonna kill you.
I removed the brooch.
Perfect. And you deactivate the brooch just by kind of tricorder tapping it, and your form goes back. Oh, hey, welcome back.
So we need to go on another adventure, but I need Mesnos and Bloodscale if you guys aren't busy.
You see Mesnos and Bloodscale sitting on the you see Mesnos sitting on the steps, just like his dwarvish form you recognize, and you see he's like he kind of like shifts back into his rat form, and he's like just sitting there. He looks up, he kind of like waves excitedly, and he hops up to go run over. Bloodscale's just finishing up a note as you walk in. I know. At this point, you would have long completed the note. You see, he's just doing this weird thing where he like spits a piece of ice up and then catches it in his mouth again.
It's my ice.
Gross. Gross. I'm gonna go drop off my stuff over at Gib.
Oh, this is very quite interesting. Okay, excellent. This perfect. You've
Yeah.
got
Not giving him everything.
what all
As
are
I'm-
you handing him?
I have it divided up. Let me turn to my page here. Sorry.
You're good.
All right, I'm gonna give him attic dust. There you go. That. I got your welding mask. There you go. And then there's just four glasses. I don't know if you need any of these, and I just start pulling the plans out.
Oh my God, those are safe. That is excellent to know. I don't need them right now, but eventually those could come in rather handy if I ever get my chance to work again.
Back in. Pull out the drill.
Ah, well, could I have those plans actually? They are quite
Give
important
him
to me.
half of the plans.
Were the rest lost in the fire, or whatever happened to the place?
Oh, you know what? I got like I hand him 2 more. I don't know how many I had. I want to keep like 1 or 2.
Okay, so out of the 6 plans, how many do you keep?
There were 6 plans.
Mhm.
I'll keep 2.
Well, I guess as much as could be saved was saved. I do appreciate it.
Oh, thank her. She opened the safe. It was pretty cool. I hand him the
they
drill.
were in the safe.
It was I don't know.
Make a deception
I hand him the
check.
pick.
Make a deception check.
It's the one person that likes you, and
I know.
you're a monster.
You know, those sticky hands of yours aren't doing you any favors right now.
What are you talking about? I hand him.
Oh,
No,
there's
wait, am I
2
near
more in-
earshot? Am I in earshot?
I would assume so. Yeah, it's not a very big place.
Woozah!
What?
The other plans.
Oh yeah. Here you go. And I hand him 1 more.
He looks at it. He sighs heavily. What are you even going to do with that last one? Do you even know what it is?
I don't know. I actually pull it out and I look at it.
And as you look at it, make an intelligence check.
Okay.
Not a fucking clue.
I'm gonna use luck.
You're not even sure.
I don't. It's a bad.
You're not even sure if you're
It
holding
is
it
fine.
upright, and it's written in Dwarvish, which you don't speak. He kind of looks at
don't-
you, puts out his hand.
You know. Fine. It's fine. I hand him the plans. I pull out the pick and I ask him what is up with this pick.
Oh, it's one of my new inventions. It's a more advanced mining pick for those of a diminished stature to be able to pick with a quick and efficiency. It allows you could still mine without having the strength of to mine. It makes it easier for smaller or weaker creatures to mine.
Like with creatures with hollow bones. That's perfect. I'm gonna put it back in. I'm gonna pull out all the wood shards. Can you use these for wands?
Yes, this is perfect.
Perfect.
Well, most of
Those.
them. He pulls out some of those smaller ones and puts them aside. We'll figure out something
Perfect.
to do with those.
And then these also might be handy. And I pull out the cup of wands. 6 of them.
Oh, excellent. Yes, soon to be. Well, these will work even better. They are soon to be. They're not enchanted yet. That was one of our things is we could make a wand for the day, and people could rent them out, and they could have a cantrip associated with them. But usually made them into mending wands. But these will be fantastic. And he takes all 6 of them and he starts.
And then I
using
pull
them.
out the
Bless you.
goggles. What are these?
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, those are just merely some goggles to see in the dark with. Dark vision goggles, you know.
Perfect. I put it back in the bag.
Well, all right.
All right. Well, I mean, if you need anything else, you got your copper pot, right?
Well, yes, I seem to have
Perfect.
everything I need.
All right. I think that's everything. Oh, wait.
Oh. You know,
What kind of
when
it
you're
made,
when,
like,
when when you steal something or you wish to use it or borrow it, I'm confused on your thought process of showing it to me and then saying you're keeping it, but it is my things. But I mean,
well, I mean,
I would of course
you
let you
asked,
use them. It's just a very
asked for
strange
that
thought
stuff, right?
process. What?
I gave you the stuff that you asked for.
Well, yes, that doesn't make the other things yours, though.
No, no, these are for the people. We're gonna use them to save the people out in the city.
Well, yes, but you know, you can't. Next time, at least allow me the pleasure of volunteering them. Is what I'm
Oh,
saying.
I mean, I'm gonna pull out the goggles and just. I mean, I can. Do you want them?
No, no, no. I'm just.
I don't really see in the dark very well, and you know we're gonna go to the Underdark, and you know I just want to make sure that we're protecting everyone and everyone's
All right,
safe.
all
and
right, all
I just
right,
wanna
all
do my
right.
best.
Calm down, calm down. I'm just saying. Next time, don't be afraid to do things to allow them to either say no or ingratiate yourself. You're very quick.
Onto the mic, dear.
Fuck, I'm muting myself, sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
That's that dust of coughing and sneezing.
It is everywhere. And with that, he kind of like turns back and starts working on things. Oh, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Okay, and then write down goggles of the night.
Enough.
Goggles of the night. Oh, damn it, Ty.
These require attunement.
I don't believe so. Hold up here.
Yes! Oh fuck! Oh shit! I can't wear two sets of goggles.
You
though,
cannot
can I?
wear two sets of goggles now.
All right. Still gonna be super handy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, that's just hilarious. Okay. Perfect. And then, so anybody else want to be doing anything? Nope, I'm ready to go kill some stuff.
Oh, can we take a short rest? I kind of got a little cold. I got cold feet.
You
got hit
want
with
me? Do you want me
Can
to
Una
heal?
Watley just heal him?
No, she's not here.
I can heal you.
No, I have an idea.
I'd rather save the.
Why don't we just eat lunch?
That's fair.
Does eating
About
heal you?
lunchtime.
It's-
It counts
it's-
as a short rest.
Mm-hmm. And he
Sweet.
uses hit dice to heal.
Yeah, I am just gonna use my hit dice here.
Perfect.
I'm just using the term lunch as an excuse for a short rest because fuck it, everybody's gotta eat.
Perfect. And yeah, so you guys start eating, and it's you know, let's see, what would you guys have to eat? I guess you guys would be either on rations or go into one of the magic doors.
Magic door food.
Perfect. And as you guys enter in the magic door, it's as you know, the first person walks in, and it's just like kind of like a small room, and then as everybody comes in, it lengthens and lengthens, and then there's a table in the middle of the room that lengthens with it, and as you sit down, various foods that are as you sit down, just something that's like really good food to you pops up, like you know, there's like a steak for blood scale, you know, all sorts of, there's some really bitchin' seared pumpkin seeds for Uza, and everybody has like a different dish that kind of appears in front of them. Who's rolling? Oh, there's your hit dice. Never mind.
Yes. Sorry, I'm being
No, you're
distracted.
good. Don't forget to add your Constitution modifier if you have one.
Oh shit! I actually do.
Perfect. Yeah, don't forget to add that when using hit dice.
It's actually the first time I've used hit dice, so.
Perfect.
And back to full bitches.
Perfect. And so as you guys kind of finish up your meal and you do it, it's like, you know, when you've been working like constantly, you sit down and like it kind of catches up with you, and you're like, oh, it's just so good to just sit down for a second. And then you guys kind of get back up and you guys start back on your way. And so with that, where are you headed first? The outside, the Underdark? Do you guys?
I am following Zephyr's lead on this one.
Same.
She is muted if she's trying to talk.
Oh, I said, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Okay. I said the Underdark because it's closer.
Perfect.
Before we leave, I go to Asnini and her husband and see about my armor, because I need it back at the very least.
Perfect. So
I didn't forget! Fuck you! Ha!
Hey, you're a barbarian.
Not a naked boy!
It's not like you
Although
really
I would-
need it that much.
I would still be fine being a naked boy.
Yeah,
Whatever.
You'd be pretty okay still. Perfect. So, as you kind of walk into the thing, their little pocket room, they kind of look over. You see they have the armor. Each piece has been kind of pulled out and put onto a table, and you see they're trying to like there's like putting like a hide, like a dried leather, but it's not like hardened yet. It's still kind of pliable, and they're kind of like riveting it in, and like kind of buttoning it into the shoulder pad, so where it would clank against the armor, and then that's the part they're working on when you walk in.
Bye!
Oh, hi dear. What's going on?
We're gonna go do something stupid, so I think I need that.
We're kind of in the middle of doing this. Do you have?
I don't need to be sneaky yet. I literally just need to not get hit.
All right then.
Unless there's some other half plate just sitting around.
Well, we don't have any half plate, but we've been making breastplates for everyone. I'm sure we could find one that will fit you.
It's funny because if you actually look at the description of half plate, that's pretty much all it is.
It's like it's a breastplate plus. It's got like the shoulder pads, and then it usually has
Kind of. It all depends on what
yeah,
you're looking at. It's weird.
It just has to be a definitive difference. But it would be we would just add a breastplate to you for armor.
Nah, I need the full protection at the moment.
All right. Well, I guess we'll finish this another time then. And she kind
Pretty sure we're coming back, or we're dead. So I mean, you know.
Well, that would not be exactly the most wonderful thing I've ever heard. Do you want to help put it undone?
I mean, I was just gonna toss it on like I normally do.
All right. Well, they kind of, as you go to toss it on, they kind of help strap it down really quickly, and you get your armor on in like half the time.
Nice.
No, you kind of head back and join everybody. Everybody.
Thank you. I hope you survive. Bye.
We hope we survive too. Bye. What a strange man. Alright, let's see you guys.
I also fucking grab the bottle, even if it's still attached to ooze, and I pop it the note,
Ah!
which you will get
You want
shortly.
this back too? I hand him the bag of holding.
Yay!
Yeah. Oh, hey. So there's some toys
Don't
in
tell
there.
me. Just tell me that you need to get a thing out, and I'll let you do it.
Pick for my weak little hollow bone arms.
I told you don't tell me. I said just say you need to grab a thing, and I'll let you grab it. It's fine.
Thanks for letting me borrow that. It was super helpful, by the way. Snatch and runs were so much easier.
Fist bump.
Fist bump.
So we all head on out disguised?
Frederick, you want to come?
Do I? Am I required? Yes, I suppose I could come if this is the call to action you would need me for. I am ready. I've been learning in adventurers' school that is never ignore a call
how
to
about this?
action.
Do you wanna?
Yes. What are you doing?
I'm gathering herbs to make some trippy potions.
Oh, that seems.
Look, mushrooms.
I mean, that seems much. That's quite easy. I suppose I could.
But it's fairly close to the Underdark, so...
Well, the Underdark, not necessarily. Ooh. Yes. Yes. Ooh.
If you don't want to come, can you just do that thing that makes us look like other things?
Oh, yes. I suppose I could do that.
Can you do that when we're not around you?
I believe so. I would have to take a look at it. One moment. Sorry, I'm not terribly familiar with this spell. It's not necessarily one I've used many times, but give me one moment here. And you see he pulls out the... you all see him pull out this kind of silver rod with a... almost like a beaker file at the top, full of this shimmering blue energy, and it seems to be stopped at the top with a who'd you call it?
A hoochie.
Cork?
Cork, thank you. And then on the rod there are different buttons that kind of go all the way around to the upper the top near the top of it where it is and all the way down. And he's kind of looking at it. He's like, okay, all right. Well, let's see if this does what I hope it will do. Hold still, everyone. Wait, what do you want me to make you seem you are?
Dwarfs.
Dwarves? All right.
Well, hold on. Aren't some of us too tall? Does it only do like a foot?
It does only a foot in either direction. That is correct.
So I toss Bloodscale the brooch.
I think the sky itself has the same restrictions.
Oh crap.
I'm good.
Yeah, you're fine. Pretty much the main problem will be, unfortunately, to you of your size, Mr. Bloodscale.
You make me look like half orc.
Half orc. Well, I can do. All right. Everyone else dwarves and a half orc. Perfect.
Well, if they meet the height requirement, I suppose.
See anybody like 6 feet tall?
Yeah, blood scale.
I mean, besides Bloodscale. I know Viser is usually taller, but he can transform into a dwarf, so he's good.
I'm
Yeah, I'm
5'11".
dwarf. I'm dwarf sized.
5'11", so
Whatever a
4'11"
reasonable,
good.
whatever the
I
exact
am-
average size of a dwarf is. That's where
The exact average.
Perfect.
You are mundane as fuck.
Dude, it's so weird.
I'm as unnoticeable as I don't know.
Perfect. Alright,
Air
so-
in your room? You know that one you forget is there?
Okay.
So many rolls.
Those are for me.
Okay.
So this
Those are
time,
for Fenric.
Make me broody with a scar.
okay. So, so as you get to, seeming goes off without a hitch. Surprisingly enough, actually. So as you guys
Oh,
are,
that's
like-
wild magic wand.
oh, it's his confounded rod, which he's still
Confounded
learning.
rod.
So
Oh, I love.
That's my nickname. Never mind.
that was my nickname in high school. No. All right.
I was gonna say it's junk. Duh.
Oh no.
I mean, yeah.
No, no, no.
Oh,
This
and
confounded
what hit him?
rod! Damn, this confounded thing. Alright, so,
They won't know what hit him.
you see Uza, as you look over to him, he's now this dwarf with long black hair and a huge black beard, a scar over most of his face, like 3 scars, like it got raked across by like a creature. He looks like this grizzly dwarf, and
Over
So,
a blood sale.
Bloodscale. Bloodscale looks like this older-looking half-orc who has white hair and a white beard. The beard comes down to a point and is braided down just a little bit. He appears to be wearing like a leather jerkin and armor, with just like cloth pants.
I have an idea. Okay, cool. I have an idea.
And then
I need rope.
Mesnos has transformed into this dwarvish self from before. Zephyr, your hair stays the same color, and then you just kind of seem to shrink and widen, and your features become more dwarvish. You just look like a kind of a dwarven version of yourself. And then as Tazir, you shrink down into what you appear to shrink down into a dwarf size, and then it is a dwarf female with this blonde mohawk and some wicked sideburns that come down to about
Oh.
cheek.
All right. Where's the sideburn wax when you need it?
It's pretty styled. Like you get, it's pretty bitchin'. Like you're looking good.
Sweet.
All right, so that seems to have actually done what it was supposed to do. He kind of like pockets it triumphantly.
Glad you didn't end up in another random arena.
Oh, I'm glad no one died.
That was a possibility.
I don't know,
Awesome.
but
I love calling this guy. So much fun. Dude, you need to hang out more often.
Yes, I've been learning that it is apparently one's responsibility and duty to be a hero when called upon, if you have the power to do so.
I need rope.
Need rope.
Oh, here. I hand him 50 feet of rope. Hepin. Actually, I think I have 40.
I toss one end back to you, and I like half-ass wrap it around my wrists, and I hold like a bundle on the other end just to look like tied up.
The old Wookiee trick.
Just say I'm a slave. It's fine.
Okay.
Not the first time.
Play.
I mean, if guards ask, you take it.
Oh. Maybe we should
Get
have
it?
someone else say that because I'm really bad at lying apparently.
Vicer, we're gonna leave that to you, the performing artist.
And so vice.
All right, what do you need me to do?
If guards ask us questions like why is there a half-orc in this damn town, just say I'm your slave and it's fine.
All right. Prisoner, right? Slave? That seems weird. Oh, fighting guy,
Slave.
right? Fighter slave. Gotcha. All right.
I would
you
still be
gotcha.
slave, yeah.
Yeah, all right. I don't like this place, not at all.
All right, let's go.
Woo!
All right, perfect. And you guys start making your way out of the same tunnel that you were going down before. You know, will lead you pretty close. Do you guys want to do any stealth checks or anything? Oh, hey, before you go, do you want to take a look at the map one more time?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
And
And,
I ask him where to, like, Helmata describe the things, and I say, show that to me on the map.
All right, and he pops open the map, and so you see as and he pulls up the layer and pushes it over the top again of the thinner paper to show the red lines where everything goes is the underground, and then you see it's kind of like north and east, and then you see he's kind of notated that there's like a severe drop in certain places, but it's quick and easy. It's not too far outside of the outskirts of town. It's just getting in and out of town. Getting in and out is going to be the crazy thing, because while it's an underground city with most of the walls being just made of the mountain around them, this particular place you got to get through the wall. Well, you can either use there's a small passage that lets out here when you're through the drainage, and he kind of like shows you on the map, or well, you can get over it, I guess. Either way, good luck.
Okay.
And then, so with your new paper, you remember something that Gimzek did when he first showed it to you. You pull open the paper, and then you push it down, and you press it flat on top of his paper, and it seems to transfer the map upwards on perfect detail onto the blank space in your map. And then you scroll sideways, and it's disappeared, and you scroll back, and it's there.
I fucking love this thing.
Oh, I gotta put that in your items.
Please.
So, you guys go ahead and start making your way down and out. Go ahead and make your stealth checks for the first part of the journey.
I don't necessarily want to be invisible, just not noticeable.
Okay. So just are you guys taking the secret tunnel or just taking a regular like walking?
Not pop up the hideout. You can travel a little further away from it and then pop up and just walk.
You're breaking up weirdly again. Can you do that one more time?
Maybe instead of popping up so near the hideout, we get away from it and stealth to a point where we're not giving away any entrances, and then we just blend in.
That makes sense.
Sounds
Oh.
good.
Good way to start.
I should probably roll.
Ooh.
I
Set of
forgot
new
I'm at
mods trick twos.
disadvantage.
That's just the just a good picture that I found. I couldn't
Like it.
find it. It was hard to find a good one. All right, so
I'm at disadvantage, but it was good. So
yeah,
fuck
so
it.
that works. So as all of you start to sneak, Vicer, as you're following close behind Uza, this dust comes off the back of his wings as he kind of shakes them up just a little bit as he's walking. You look back and he's like, you see Vicer looking horrified as he's trying to kind of like, and so you guys kind of make your way through the tunnel. Every nerve-wracking sneeze, everything stops. You look around and you keep going. You manage
That's
to.
just sucks, huh?
You guys make your way all the way through the tunnels and come up onto the street level, and this is where you guys are kind of acting guess just going for the walk around, correct?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, so for that, I want everybody to roll a performance check.
All right.
Whoa.
Come on.
Jesus.
What is going on?
To be fair, I mean, I've been a slave.
Yeah, you know what? I will give you advantage on that blood scale because you are in a very, very familiar place. All right.
Did you say you'll give us advantage?
Just me.
Just
Fuck
blood
you.
scale because he's pretending to do something he's done 1,000 times.
Apparently, I'm still
Even in
under
this
the
city!
sneezing.
Yeah, you are still recovering from the itching powder as you go along, you're kind of. But luckily, your nose is where it should be, so it's not as big of a deal.
So you wouldn't have noticed that it floated off my feathers. It just appeared out of.
Oh, you didn't notice that it was on you because you were on the floor, kind of digging and rubbing. So you just.
Oh no,
like,
no. What I'm saying is I have feathers.
You're seeming. You only look like that. It's an illusion.
Hey, we didn't polymorph it.
Yeah, you're not actually a dwarf.
But I am, right?
You
Alter
are.
Self?
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
Luckily, yeah, the person who needs to stealth and lie the least fucked it up the worst. So.
And so all together, wow, you guys are amazing at this. All right.
I am.
I'm doing okay.
All right. So it's enough.
Our +1. Plus one
You
breath.
you get some very strange looks from the guards, and and then as you kind of make your way towards the city, you make your way out of the merchant sector, and there's 2 guards standing, and they kind of hold up their hands. All right, where are you headed tonight? I'm so tired of asking people. Just
I tell him exactly where we're going.
why are you headed outside the city to the Underdark? It's too dangerous. We'll have to send somebody with you then.
Oh no, we got this. I just Helmata wanted us to pick up some supplies for her. She hired us.
Helmada. All right, make a deception check.
That's what this one's for.
Nice!
Well, Helmata, she's always sending people out in crazy places, but she always knows who to choose. Is that your protection back there? And he points to Bloodscale.
Yeah, here's a throw shit button.
Hey,
Always good to have. Yeah.
I was just wondering, is there a way that you could like let the other guards know? I think that we're just trying to get this done before it gets too dark, you know?
Helmata's supposed to send you out with well, she used to send them out with a little badge, but I suppose. Hold on, let me.
I mean, we don't. Things are
Hold
so
on,
different these
No,
days.
it's fine. Hold on. Stupid city. Hold on. And he pulls out like a piece of paper from his like his armor. Like he like pulls it up from like the and he like pulls it out, and then he rips a bunch of it off, and then there's just like this stamped seal at the bottom there, and a piece he ripped off, and he just wrote. You see him write something in Dwarvish, and he kind of hands it over. It's got the seal. Should be official enough.
Thank you.
Hey,
very-
thank you.
Anytime, she's helped quite a lot of people out, so, who am I to stand in the way of medicine? Get on. He kind of like waves you through.
All right, so we go on through.
Nice capitalizing on the nat 20.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, man.
I would need to.
Perfect. So you guys kind of you guys make the rest of the way. Every time you get to a new sector of the city, they kind of go to stop you, just hold it up, and they just wave you through. You can tell that all of these guards are really, really tired. Like they've been worked really, really hard. You can tell they're on edge, or just don't give a f anymore. Like for the most part. Then you guys make your way. You're getting towards the edge of the city, and you come up to the wall. It is not just a little wall. This wall is about 20 feet tall and about 3 feet thick.
Alright, wasn't there a way to go around it or under it or?
Gimzek did show you that there is a way to drop into the sewers from here and take a drainage pipe out.
I have the map.
Yep.
So we use that.
They've got a map.
And so as you open the map, you do see like where it's kind of lightly notated of what to do. You go to the edge of the wall, and then as you crouch down, you see there's a sequence of stones. There's 3 stones, and they're light. It's dark, light, dark, light, dark, and then and then if you press all 3 of the dark ones together, it releases a latch, and as you and the edge of it just kind of tilts down, and as you jump down and you kind of does like this small slide, and you find yourself standing in the this big drainage pipe underneath the city. Everybody make a dexterity saving throw to see how well you land.
Can I use Featherfall?
Yes.
Ah, fuck. Hang on, am I wearing...
Alright, so,
Different
No!
campaign.
That's Genevieve that's wearing Featherfall. Fuck!
alright, so Vice, you cast Featherfall. So you just as everybody
Yeah.
you
I was
see,
just seeing how
Yeah.
many people I could grab with it.
oh, okay. Let's see, 5, so you can get pretty much everybody except for
I have a
Don't have to
question.
worry about fly.
As a
yes.
barbarian, I have danger sense, which is advantage on dex saves against effects I can see.
yes,
I'm
this would give you
jumping to the
advantage.
thing.
Woo!
So I catch everyone.
Like you needed it.
Oh,
So
I guess except Bloodscale since he's
so
he's good.
as it opens, Bloodscale just Bloodscale takes like 2 steps and then does like a barrel roll into it and throws up his arms as he goes down the slide and lands before you can even cast anything. Everybody kind of goes to run in and jump in before it goes. Zephyr trips, and Zephyr, as you trip, you're like, oh shit, and then everybody starts to just gently fall down this gentle little slide as you land at the bottom.
Oh, thank you, Vicer.
Ah, yeah, I can't let you fall. That would be. That's not a good teammate. That's not what a hero does.
Perfect. And then so you guys kind of follow the little bits on the map, and it's not long before you find yourself. It's getting super dark, but I think everybody now
I
has
can
somewhere
see
to see
clear.
in the dark, right?
The rain is gone.
Yeah,
I channel
my,
Shanath.
my mask is
Yep, your mask has that
disguised
dark vision.
goggles, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, okay, cool.
And then and then as
Oh,
you
wait,
say,
is it just a
shit-
mask with dark vision now? Since like it was transformed by the goddess or whatever.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I mean,
All right,
so-
dig it.
Bloodscale. Yes, you guys hear Bloodscale mutters Shenoth, and although nothing visibly changes, you do see like an extra sparkle behind his illusory eyes.
Kidoki.
All right, so can I get a survival check now that you guys are kind of outside the city limits, so you guys can track down where you're going?
I want to do it.
Everybody do one so we can put them together, since you all.
Ah, come on, dude. I got
Oh.
6 on this.
Oh god.
I have 5 and I got 7. Shut up and stop whining.
Yay!
Okay.
Perfect. And so first, Bloodscale, you see him kind of duck down, and he's looking around, and then you see him step over this kind of, as he steps, you see from his foot there's a light powdery dust, and then you see that there's kind of small trails of it that are being wafted around, and you see it kind of gets heavier in areas, and you guys seem to follow it, like the spores of the dust, and eventually it brings you, you kind of, how are you guys traveling? Like, is there a marching order?
Good.
Um,
ahead
I'll
and
take-
I'll
Right,
be
usually spot near the back.
second since I can see.
you
Everybody.
guys want me to push
Well, everybody can see,
Yeah.
but I'm used to it, so
I'll be in the front.
So,
I'm right behind Bloodscale.
Bloodscale in
Am
the
I
front.
am I coming through it all? Can you guys hear me?
You're breaking
Yeah.
up still every once in a while, but I
Barely.
can hear you now.
Okay. Do you guys want me to scout ahead?
No. Let's just try to stick together.
Wait, what?
Would there be any
Oh,
reason to check for traps and stuff?
You're kind of in the wild, so there's less,
Oh, okay, all
less
right.
likely of traps, and
I'm unclear as to like how blended into the environment the people of the Underdark are. Like what the line is between
so
like nature and city.
So this is basically like the equivalent of going out into like a forest.
Okay,
yep,
cool.
Yeah,
Never mind.
and
Then.
then,
Yeah, definitely don't want to scout then.
perfect. So as you guys are kind of going through this,
Unless you want to.
you see ahead of you there's a small glow, And as you get closer, you see that it's not just dust. There are spores, but these spores are huge. Some of them are the size of like golf balls, as they kind of waft through the air, and they glow. And then as they waft farther and farther away, they kind of dim and disappear and fall to dust.
Hey,
Can I collect a couple of them?
Sure.
what are? Well, can you? What are they? Are they safe to touch?
Well, I can use my nature and attempt to.
Okay, go ahead and make a nature check. See if you can figure out what they are. And so, with this, you've heard of many things in the Underdark. It's not a place that you've been before, but you know that there are creatures that are made up almost entirely of like these mushroom-like creatures, and you would assume, with your knowledge of nature and spores and everything, that this might be, a spore this big has to come with something at least human-sized. So that you think you're probably headed in the right direction. I think it's a myconid spore.
Okay. And so I guess we'll keep going then.
Perfect.
Do we need to grab those?
I'll try to grab one.
Perfect.
Right? Like that was what we were sent for, right?
Not those exact ones.
Oh, okay. Well, let's not fuck with him then.
Perfect. So, and as you guys keep moving forward,
I mean, that's up to you. That's up to you guys. I don't know.
Fuck it. I'll leave it alone too.
perfect. Okay.
I'm just afraid of everything in the Underdark, if I'm being honest.
I don't want that shit to, attach to my backpack and then turn into a living mic in it. That'd be bad.
Yeah, that'd be a nightmare.
You guys ruin all my fun.
It's only because it's almost 9:30.
All right. So, and as you guys kind of make your way forwards, you see like the glow become brighter, and all around you, attaching to the walls, you see there's these small mushrooms that seem to be popping up more and more common. They seem to glow in different bright colors, from pinks and blues and greens and bright yellows. All of this neon kind of bioluminescence coming for them. The spores get a little bit heavier and heavier. I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw as you get closer.
But I don't wanna.
I start collecting what I need.
So, for right now, you haven't seen any of the things that Hamada told you specifically. But if you're interested in collecting some of the glowing,
Yeah, I want to
mushrooms,
collect some samples.
Perfect. So, write down just mushroom samples, and then write whatever colors you picked up.
Okay, so neon colors, basically.
Yes, yeah. There's the neon spectrum.
So spores, right?
Yep, yeah. There's spores, and then the actual mushrooms if you want to grab those.
Mushroom.
And then
Ooh, it's a snake.
so you guys keep moving forward. Get a perception check from you guys.
Hey, Vicehair noticed stuff for once. I have no bonus to
Congratulations.
perception.
Jesus, dude.
Ah.
I'm not rolling very well tonight. I rolled 2.
So as you guys, holy crap, you did roll a 2. And so as the tunnel ahead starts to kind of gets a little narrow. It's not like narrow quite yet, but it gets to be about 20 feet wide as opposed to this giant cavern that you were in that had like this just insane into darkness into the ceiling. But it starts to narrow down a little bit, and the mushrooms become more and more common. And you see now that these mushrooms start to get bigger and bigger. Some are like this about hip high and have mushroom heads like it's that are like the size of like a small dog, or no, a large dog on top of them. And then Vicehair, you're the only one. As you're working through, you look down and you see that it's starting to get a little slick. There's a bunch of spores that have kind of collected, and you're starting to stick a little bit as you go through.
Alright, everyone be careful. It looks like it's sticky here. Something's wrong with the floor. I don't know. Does it feel or can I do an Arcana check? See if there's anything magical. Suppose.
Perfect. And as you're kind of squishing through them.
How long would it take to take 20 on this action?
Let's see. Take 20 on that action. Man, I haven't. Not really a function in
Is that a
5e.
thing still?
But I would say if you wanted
It's
to do,
fine if it's not.
if you
I'm not
wanted to
worried about it.
spend, if you wanted to spend 5 minutes studying it, I would give you another roll, because committing that time to it.
I can
so there's
collect
some.
mushrooms while you're doing it, so.
But, if you guys want to stop for five-ish minutes, I could take a real look at these, make sure there's nothing magical. If you guys still want to go through, just let me know.
No, let's stop and take a look. I'm collecting
Alright,
specimens.
just want to make sure we don't get attacked by the floor.
Yeah, that's
Bloodscale,
fair.
Bloodscale pulls out his speaking stones, like whispers into it. Maybe we should be using this and being quiet.
Ah, that's a good idea. I put mine in.
Yeah.
So you all get out your stones
Yeah.
and are now whispering into it. Okay, go ahead and make another Arcana check.
We are now stage whispering.
Oh yeah!
Perfect. And as
Assume
you're,
everything is now in whispers.
Yes,
Congratulations.
Excellent.
and so as you're looking at it this time, you're kind of just trying to study, and then like all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, I know that has a trace of there's a fey magic to this. These are meant to. There's a stunning magic to this if you're not careful, and then you realize it would be on your hands if it wasn't for your gloves, and you kind of like wipe it off and kind of like scrape it off your hand, and you get an idea that it's a skin contact. Too much of it will cause a paralyzation, like a stunning effect for a while.
Ooh, what'd you
Hey
got?
everyone, be careful with this. If you get too much on you, it can stun you. It can like just lock you in place. It only affects you if it touches your skin, though. So make sure you keep yourself dusted off. If you have gloves, pop them on. Just really cover yourself as much as you can.
I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna start collecting the shit out of that.
I'm gonna use prestidigitation. Bam! And I'm just gonna
Just keep-
clean everybody off, and I'm gonna try and every 10 or 15 feet, I'm gonna redo that. Just
Perfect. And as you guys are going along,
Paralysis.
while you feel-
Slime.
and if any of you feel like you're getting stunned by any of this, or you feel any effects, let me know, and I will prestidigitate this off. And as I say that, as I snap, I prestidigitate it off myself.
Well, I'm trying to fill it up, so like fill up a
write down
potion size thing.
Okay, write a vial of
Stun powder.
pacifying spores.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Spores.
I'll leave it like water off a duck's back.
Too sticky for that, actually.
Okay.
Can I collect a couple?
You probably take
Always
a little too long.
monsoon
So
seeds.
it'll, and not only that, it's hard to do without getting it contact on your skin. You would have to make a Constitution saving throw if you want to do more than one.
What's a pouch of containing? Oh no, never mind. Sorry, it's just pouch containing.
Constitution saving throw? Yeah, I'll risk it.
Okay.
Nice.
So and as you're going through that, Vicer, he's prestidigitating off, and then he sees you kind of collect it up, and he helps a little bit too. Keeping your
can I
hands
use-
clean.
I'm gonna use Mage Hand to gather up the spore and put it into the vials for
So
Zephyr.
you also are so with that you guys get a total of 3 vials of pacifying spores.
Yay!
Hell yeah! We
Hell
don't need
yeah,
to touch
boy, shit.
things. Eh,
Perfect.
I'm the Swiss Army knife of magic, man.
We still
Magic
haven't found
man.
what we need, but let's keep going.
All right, and
Absolutely,
that's,
yeah. Let's use Mage Hand as often as we. I mean, anytime you need to pick something up, I know these mushrooms or something, but if this whole place could be covered in stuff like that.
That's fair. That's so helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
So you guys head farther and farther into the glowing cavern, and as soon as it starts to open up, you see there's a cavern with a whole bunch of giant mushrooms that seems to dead end.
Do I see any of the mushrooms I need?
I need everybody to make a perception check.
Are we just doing
Fuck me.
Theater of the Mind for this?
Yes, yeah, I'm stuck theater of mind for now. Sorry. It's
Okay,
hard to
cool,
find
cool.
all these maps without.
Nah, you're good.
Perfect.
And we're all still stage whispering to each other.
Oh yeah, I've taken that as written.
Thank you.
And then
Oh, sorry. Perception check. Sorry.
Yep.
Give me one second.
Ow!
Bye-bye.
Sweet. And then
Viserys tuned into this
Taz?
mission, man. He's ready to
Perfect.
go.
So
You are
everybody.
so helpful, Mr. Mage.
Sorcerer. Woohoo.
So as everybody as you're kind of looking around, you notice that some of the everybody except for Bloodscale, you're kind of looking around. You get this you're feeling uneasy, but you don't know why. But the rest of you start
that.
seeing some of the spores start to move. Some of the larger mushrooms start to move, and then all of a sudden they start to shift towards you guys, and you see eyes open as these large fungal creatures start to wander in your direction. And that's where we're going to go and pick up next
Oh.
time.
Oh, I have speak with plants.
Are they plants?
Too bad they're spores.
I know, like, would fungus count? Like,
I have immolate, so I'm pretty ready to
No,
go.
I don't know. Honestly, I do not know how D&D actually rules that.
Let me
Speak
pull 'em up here.
primordial.
Let's see. They do not have any languages that they speak. They would count as plants. Large plant, is what they say.
cool.
Nice.
I can speak with
Nice.
plants.
We might not
Oh,
have to
yeah.
murder them, which would be nice.
Well, I just remember that fighting myconids is a fucking pain in the ass.
Okay, I got lots of fire moves, but anytime we don't have to murder things, I'm happy.
And anytime we don't have to breathe in like awful fumes that paralyze us. And...
Well, you know, the things that you had, you made 2 concentration throws just to get here, so it's not something not to forget.
I know, I did fairly well considering. I
Yeah.
was
I'm
really
surprised-
happy with my rolls.
Nobody ended up failing.
Fair, I was
them.
gonna
was
run
like,
in and
"Oh."
roar and make them all heard, so.
You still can if Bloodscale doesn't know the plan. No.
That's cool. And
Bloodcale's
hey,
gonna be like, what the fuck are these things? Everybody else, what the fuck are these things? I'm
Oh,
confused
yeah.
and scared.
Oh my
and
god, it's so much
I
fun.
will say thank you for having an Arcana check that meant something.
Yeah,
No,
of
those
course.
those are kind of hard because it's kind of vague what an Arcana
Well,
check is for. So
and I-
it's like, all right.
I have an idea that's also going to help a lot with that coming up in the future. Don't forget, if you have detect magic, you can perform it as a ritual and not take up a spell slot. It takes
Oh, nice.
It takes 10 minutes to do the ritual,
Cool.
so something to keep
Okay.
in mind.
Definitely.
Perfect. So other than that, yeah, we'll go and wrap
Yay.
up here. Anybody have any questions? Anything that wasn't terribly clear? I know we covered a lot of details and minutia today, but everything still feeling good? Still feeling straightforward?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I think so, yeah.
Excellent. Well, in that case, say goodnight to the nice people. Bye, everybody.
Good night to the nice people, everyone.
Son of a...
Good night.